Right. Okay. Should be starting. Yes, it started. It's gonna go live.
Yeah, the stream is started. I can send the VLR post.
Yes, you can send it.
Can you send me the link so I can give them the link?
I can do that.
Oh, did I miss the intro?
Not yet. There is the link.
The Sam is perfect.
Oh no, I think we're live.
We are live. That is correct.
Okay, it's done.
It's done? Great.
Yep.
Alright, so then we shall be starting now. In 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody, welcome to VLR You Listening. Today we'll be talking about Pacific and China, and potentially we'll be talking about even more regions. But we'll see how that goes, depending on time, because EMA is about to start in like 2 hours. Alright.
Yep.
So today I flipped the people. That's not great, but we have Meg Angrybuck or Meg, we have Math Material, and we have Dyke Kid. So
Oh, no, I'm Meg actually.
yeah. So gonna quickly change that, but okay. All right, let me just do that, and then you should be Math Material.
I don't know why I'm laying on the right.
That is a great question. I have no clue either. Let me fix that. All right, perfect. You're slightly bigger than everyone, but like, it's fine.
It's because I ate too much chocolate and that's a problem.
All right, so let's talk about Pacific first, right? Because that's just what finished now, and that's what's the people memory. So in Pacific, we left off at.
I was paper exposures.
It was the final four.
Yes, it was DRX Talon, where DRX won a quick 2-0 over Talon. It was 13-4
I think we discussed that game.
and 14-12.
Yeah, we already did DRX Talon.
Oh,
it
did
was
we do?
DRX Paper X.
Yes, DRX
and
Paper X.
Genji
Yes,
RRQ.
yes.
Yeah.
DRX Paper X, where this game
Oh.
was the PRX hype
Okay.
train. So Math
Different side of the
Material,
train.
as the PRX fanboy over here, right? As our resident PRX fan, along with Fo, do you wanna run me through this game?
Okay, Lotus. We just had an attack. We just actually let me pull up the VLR page. I'm gonna talk you round by round.
Run by round. Okay.
Yep, round by round. Lotus. We lose the
24 of
pistol.
them.
Unfortunate. We start. We get a decent bonus. Not bonus. The anti-bonus. We win round 4. We have a bit of a losing streak. Right? I think this is where Alex calls a timeout, and we just play retake. Then this entire defense, we play retake. We play slow. you can see the way they played around something zero, right? They just let him do his thing. They let him push. He's pushed up A main. He's taking space, and they just play retake. Like they have space. They have A main. They're like, okay, they're gonna hit C this time around. They retake, and that's how they just played that. What do you call the defense half? And it was great for their attack. One really good thing I liked about their attack was once they got the side, right? They didn't plant right away. They didn't tap the spike. They just held. They held for like a push, or maybe to convince DRX that they're not actually planting, or for whatever reason they just stopped. They paused their attack half, not paused their attack half, paused while attacking when they have side, just to fuck with DRX. Right, and it's messing with them, and PaperX did incredible timings because of that, and it works out in their favor. They win those first four attacks half with the bonus and everything. Sure, we falter a little bit, making it close for content, but we close it out in the end. Patman gets an incredible 2K on round 21. Finishes it beautiful. The icebox map. I think this was just a perfect anti-strat. Like we weren't fighting mid. We were actually fighting mid quite a lot, because we know firsthand, right, that Marco likes to lurk a lot on this map. So we were specifically punishing that. And sure, there were some over pushing moments from something to from the A side, but we kept it close. I really like this comp they ran with. It's like a 2023 comp, Omen and Viper. You can play Omen as a secondary duelist. It's really good comps. Forsaken just fried on both maps. I had no much to say. Like they couldn't stop the train.
We couldn't stop the
And I
train.
think I also I also want to mention DRX. I think I doubt they'd want to stick with this the current lineup they have. Because clearly, assuming Flashback doesn't come back, they might be looking for some roster changes. Maybe pick up a player from like the T1 Academy, or
Yeah.
there's a lot of good tier 2 prospects in Korea right now. They might be looking into one of those for Bane, or even
Yeah.
I guess Estrella is big. Most likely Bane will be gone. Yeah.
I think this game highlighted the fact that Australia is not the same like caliber as what DRX is aiming for, because I think Icebox specifically, it looked like his brain was just fucking fried. The calling just like he just wasn't adapting to anything PaperX were doing. Like he was basically just like hitting his head against a brick wall, just trying to do the same thing over and over. And PaperX basically had the read on him, and he couldn't adapt. So I think Estrella gone. Honestly, move Marco back to IGL, and then just get a. I reckon get a new initiator player and just put free on Sandstorm, because that's what he was playing in China Ascension. He was a demon on it.
I think that would be like a good roster move, right? Bane, but did not look comfortable in Sentinel. I think a lot of people question Bane's firepower. They compare him with Zelsis. I think it's much better than Zelsis's, but it's not enough to just stop a push by himself. Like he has those moments, but apart from that, they need a higher firepower player on Sentinel. Like at least the way they play, because they like to go for those hard anchors. And Bane is just not that guy right now. I think moving Freeing to Sentinel would be a good move, and getting a initiator player, right? Maybe Athan. They started with this year with him, but benched him right before they started. Maybe they can get Athan for Estrella and test him out. It's a long period, 2.5 months. They have a lot of time to figure it out.
Yeah, but
Let
I
me
definitely think.
speak.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh,
So, all right. I am Foul,
Well,
the
alright.
resident. I'm Foul, the resident Paper X fan. 3 weeks ago, I said, if we beat the team we were going against, whether that be T1 or DRX in our first game, we were going to go on a generational run and make Toronto. At the time, I said, mark my words. Nobody believed me. And
But
yet,
I was with you.
look where we are now. Anyways, that internal monologue
Thank you,
moment's over. So, Yeah. I feel like this whole entire the past like especially lower up until like lower 3 maybe everything was really in a sense kind of one-sided. Like I'm pretty sure up until the DRX games, all the maps, like the enemy team, whether it be us or them, didn't get over 10 rounds or didn't hit double digits in that sense. And yes, I did say we.
Yep, I absolutely agree with you.
Well,
Yeah.
except Fracture versus
So-
T1.
Yeah.
Well,
no, like
yeah,
it
but,
was one-sided in
we
the
got
side.
3 rounds. We got 3 rounds. So we're not going to talk about that. Okay, I do.
think that
Actually, yeah, I
do you
do.
see
I
As a fluke?
What the?
I do want to talk about Fracture though. So, Fracture against T1 13-3. We've been playing the same composition, right? Throughout the entirety of playoffs. So the comp was not the problem. The problem was something being unfamiliar with Brimstone. In the series against T1, he went 1-15 on that Asian, right? But then we go to the next game against Boom. We play Fracture again. Same composition. He goes 16-17. -1, but a 1.18 VLR rating. And then we win the map. And then up to DRX. We didn't play Fracture. We could have played Fracture, but we didn't play Fracture. Into lower finals. We did play Fracture. And we 13-2'd RRQ. It was their own map pick. And then something 9-7, 1.09 VLR rating. So yeah. Also, can I give a shout out to Forsaken? That guy's a
Yep, I was
goat.
playing every single role. What done?
My
But,
goat foreskin.
That's
Dude, I don't know what's happening.
that is my overall Paper Rex rant.
We didn't
Um,
talk about Genji versus RRQ, right? The upper final.
we
No,
didn't talk about it last episode, no.
no. So let's go right
But
into it.
Okay,
Genji versus
but
RRQ, where Genji win 2-0 over RRQ.
this game, I think it felt more like RRQ weren't familiar with Genji's game. They weren't ready for the fights. Genji caught them at unexpected angles, especially on Lotus, right? Their attack. Genji just moved really well around the map, and they surprised them with these team fights which RRQ weren't ready for. In these like team fights forced mistakes, and they just capitalized, and they ran away with Lotus. They kind of just snowballed. And I think RRQ was not RRQ. Icebox was a bit closer than like the scoreline suggests. It says 13-8, but it was a bit closer. Even rounds came down to like final few kills. Genji was a better team that day. They won. I don't think it was that big of a diff. But I didn't lose hope on RRQ like with this game. Like RRQ still showed a bit of good stuff there. And Genji, I think there's a second map, right? They also kind of exposed the Yoru a bit. The weaknesses, the cracks of the Yoru. I think they maxed out the possible what do you call potential for Yoru on this map with this. And after that, I think it'll just fall apart. And that's exactly what happened today. Do you want to talk about today's game, or do we go for RQ Paper X next?
We can talk about RRQ Paper X next, as I try to figure out what's going on with my computer.
I think you figured it out.
Alright, so
mate, RRQ Paper X is a fucking weird game, bro. Like, look, just look at the scores on it on every map and tell me, like, we get 1-13, what was it, 2 blowout, we get 2 OTs, we get a 13-3 blowout, and then a 13. What the fuck was going on here?
yeah, this was a weird game.
What this showed me was Paper X have had a really good read on. I think they just went ahead with they did a lot of anti-stratting, the same they did against. They played yesterday against Genji, right? So they did a lot of anti-stratting based on that, and they had the perfect read for the game. For map 5 Ascent, IRQ just a good Ascent team. Like they figured out the perfect comp on this one. I legit think this is the perfect comp for this. Jemkin on Yoru looks
Perfect comp for-
insane. Like Ascent, yeah, I think this is a perfect Ascent comp. the when RQ is running, and as it stands, they
For
might be one of the
RQ.
best SL teams in the world. Yeah,
If we can
I think
look
PaperX
at
could have won this
the
though.
okay, yeah,
Especially
definitely.
okay. I just want to mention two things.
Especially with with like Split and Pearl being going into
Yeah,
OT. Yeah, go
Split.
for it.
I think we're saving strats because we ran a different comp against Global Esports, right? Yeah, we ran something on Yoru, and we played Batman on Fate. So I think we might be saving strats. I don't know why we would go back,
I
and Pearl.
I
I
actually think
again,
that they're just limit testing.
yeah, that too. They could be just because if they, I don't think they'll play the same comp on Toronto when if it gets picked. And for Pearl, I think PaperX needs a comp change. I think Jet as a solo, Jet in a double duelist comp doesn't work anymore because Jet doesn't have enough util to support herself. Right? If you're playing a double duelist comp, oftentimes the second duelist could be lurking, and that second duelist must have enough util to support themselves. You could see like with you know if whether it's a Neon or a Yoru, they have enough util to support themselves. Jet does not. So if they want to continue playing the Jet on Pearl, which I think is Jet is still a viable pick on this map, they might have to switch the roles around a bit, put Jing on Astra and have Devi play a second initiator. I think that might be the way to do it. Or have something what do you call it? Go Yoru and Jing. What do you call it? Jing can play smokes. Forsaken can play Neon. If they still want to play double duelist, I think their Pearl comp needs a bit of change. It's also been figured out. Like they haven't changed their comp in over what 3 years at this point. So I still think it needs a change. And for Icebox, I think I've already talked about Icebox. Fracture was a complete blowout. I wouldn't even mention it. RQ just played bad. And Forsaken played incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think you
Speaking
can
of
talk strats
Forsaken,
about this game. Yeah.
Mr. I played all of the roles, 5 different agents across 5 mats, plus 34.
Not done.
Just give clap your hands for my boy, please. There's not much to say, but
That's a whole ass
absolutely
composition, by the
phenomenal
way.
player, great flex player. I feel like this game really solidified his status as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, flex player. Now I say this because there's obviously people like Chronicle who have like the trophies to back
One.
it up. But
Yeah.
Forsaken may just be the greatest trophyless player ever.
Nah, mate.
I'd say
See,
Marco and then
clear.
Forsaken.
Okay,
I'd say
that's
Marco and then Forsaken, yeah.
yeah, sure. Anyways, so even if like under the chance the slim chance that he does leave Paper X next year or something happens that he leaves the team, his stocks are quite high. I think teams
Really.
would be really looking into uh getting
Mate,
him.
if Boom picked up Forsaken, do you think they become
Yes,
the best team in
definitely.
Pacific?
Well,
No, I
best
don't
team
think
best
so.
team in the Pacific is debatable, but top 3 definitely, yes. Now, the question of who you'd be replacing, uh,
So,
I don't have a solid answer for that because they all kind of have their own pop-off moments in a sense where you can't really pinpoint a scapegoat of the team in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Makes
yeah,
sense.
but it's definitely not famous or DOS9.
No. You
No.
can make the same argument for NC Slasher. NC Slasher is also playing incredible. Like he had a tough game against PaperX and Genji, but like he still played incredible during the regular season.
Yeah. And Shearer's the IGL, isn't it?
Yeah. I know it's
Okay,
fine.
so
Forsaken can IGL. I'm pretty sure he is like listed as an IGL for PaperX. He can IGL.
Well, I mean, okay, there's a difference between like mid-rounding and IGLing, right?
Yeah.
So
I
I feel
think
like Forsaken, as of right now, obviously he could be an IGL. It would require like maybe at least one split of training, which I don't think.
as players have gotten good at the game, the IGL role has also blurred a bit. I think every single player mid rounds quite a lot. Your sentinel needs to be vocal. If he's hearing rotates or initiator player needs to coordinate his util. I think every single team has multiple mid rounders, so I think the IGL role is a lot more blurred. I think IGL is just more of a final say and like like an emotional leader, I'd say, at least in most teams. So the argument that PaperX doesn't have an IGL doesn't really stand strong anymore because if you watch that comms video, right, you can see everyone mid rounds quite a lot. Like they're all vocal players, especially Patman. Patman is incredibly vocal. They something Mind Freak wasn't. Mind Freak wasn't as vocal as Patman was, and I think it's helped them quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but
That
I think
is.
PaperX are a good in position for Toronto. Like they could make a deep run.
I don't know if they make it out of groups. I won't lie.
Really?
Yeah, they could. They definitely could. But right now, I think Toronto's shaping up to be a really stacked tournament.
Yeah,
And I
that makes sense.
think, yeah, PaperX are going to struggle getting out of groups.
That's fine. We'll play
Especially
against
when they have to play the Goat Wolves.
Yeah, that's we haven't beaten Wolves before, by the way. We lost to Wolves the last time we played.
Yeah, exactly.
In the China Eagle or no, not China
That's the
Eagle.
off-season tournament. I
Yeah,
forgot the name
yeah, it
though.
was off season.
Yeah.
Mm,
The Shanghai
I
Esports
actually,
Masters.
I actually
Yeah.
do think that PaperX will make it out of playoffs.
Out of playoffs?
It might just be a lot of copium again, but like, let's see if the EMEA teams, let's say Fnatic makes it, right? That's
Fnatic
Crashies
have made it.
versus BLG, which'll take
Fnatic's already made
Fnatic
it.
out. Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Fnatic's
Fnatic have already made it.
it.
They beat
All
Liquid.
right. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that'll be Crashies versus Billy Gaming. 3.0.
Yeah, they're
think
losing.
there's a narrative there.
Yeah, and then imagine if they lose again. That'd be hilarious.
Well,
Wolves.
Fnatic have
Wolves. I don't
lost
know.
really, but
And then Sen versus MIBR. They always somehow make it. And
You're
then
right. Actually, it's pretty tough for
oh, you know what
PaperX
I'd be
versus
very
MIBR.
down for?
What?
Imagine
What?
if we get if we get the group of PaperX, Team
well,
Heretics,
it's not
G2,
groups though, is it?
and someone
It's
else.
Swiss.
Oh, is it?
Oh no,
Oh, it's
yeah,
Swiss.
Yeah, it's
Oh
Swiss.
yeah, it is
Universe.
Swiss.
It's
Oh yeah,
Swiss.
then we make it out.
Do
Easy.
they,
We make it
do they
out.
pick teams like last time? Because last time in Shanghai you get to the first seed team.
Yeah, I think
pick.
they're doing that again.
If they do,
Well,
imagine when G2 picks PaperX, but this time PaperX beats
G2
China. I'm just
PaperX, run it
yeah, and
back,
I'm
run it
thinking
back.
too much, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking too much. Let's move on. I'm
Alright.
hallucinating
Yeah,
at
anyway,
this
let's
point. Let's
move
talk about
on
the better
It,
team.
to-
enough of
RRQ.
Toronto fan.
Let's move on to
All right, on to the
GNGRQ, the
the
actual
one that
grand
just
The
happened.
finals.
second one.
Yeah, the better teams.
What the fuck happened on Ascent, bro?
Okay, first, I want Meg to
What the fuck?
I want Meg to talk a bit. Meg has been pretty quiet lately. Okay, so any
She muted
thoughts on this?
herself.
Oh, she muted
Yeah, and-
herself.
On
I'm
the
not-
final,
I'm
no. Just because I was sneezing, so I just mute myself in case I was saying some weird things. Of course, they are a game of Ascent. And what did happen on this game of Ascent, Nats?
Okay, let's go on Ascent. Ascent was 11-13.
For the team that
picked
started in attack.
Yeah.
Well player, Q, finally someone that has it. Yeah, this is not an exact rule. It's not possible that every time a team it should have happened at some point. It was impossible that almost every game we saw was a stomp for the defense team. So for once it was the contrary, and yet they almost managed to lose this one after doing a 10-2 map in attack. I don't know what is happening on this map. Everything is so weird. I hate this map, but for once attack did something, so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The scoreboard is usually flipped. You'd see like defense rounds, but now you just see attack. 10 to attack for RQ, and then Genji got 9 rounds.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
I do want to say though that this was that this was the comps were a little weird on this one, right? You have the Jemkin Yoru, so that may have affected it a little bit, right? Because you see RQ's comps a little more like the more attack sided, right? And if you look at Gen G, I
That's a
honestly
standard defense side.
it's a standard ascent comp, so like none of that
Funny.
double sentinel
Yeah.
things, stuff like that. So we are looking
This was
at
the old
regular
meta.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say that's probably a factor to think about when you think about like why they are so good on attack. But also like I mean this was a very interesting watch, right? Like you just saw RQ absolutely wash Genji, and then then the comeback starts you getting hyped, and then they immediately lose. It was a really long game, but yeah.
Yeah.
I finished watching this game and then I fell asleep. I just want to say, fake comeback, very very fake comeback. But I think the problem was, in a sense, kind of Munchin's overall calling on this map actually, because a lot of times their defense reads were just straight up bad, or just RQ just outcalled them like 90% of the time on this map.
I just want to mention
Yeah.
Teho, like in this grand finals, Teho had 100% non-mirror win rate. The team playing Teho won the map. Even
Well, he's getting
Genji
nerfed into the ground, no?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting
Yeah,
nerfed
I'm
into the
I'm
ground.
so
So,
glad we don't have to
I
watch
think
this
RRQ
fucking
will
dog
be one of the
agent
teams
anymore,
which,
bro.
yeah, RRQ will be one of the teams which gets affected a lot by these changes. Especially since they've been like abusing the Yoru Teho a lot.
Yeah. I want to bring my attention though to is Lotus, because Lotus was RQ's win, and I thought that this match was really interesting, right? Because Genji started off with a 3-1 lead, and they looked pretty good, right? But the thing is, they were losing a lot of the advantages, and I felt like they were overheating a little bit and being a little too confident in themselves, right? I remember in like round 5, I think it was, I forgot who it was. Was it maybe Zephyro, who just like got four free picks off of Genji, who were just over peaking a lot, and then they completely lost the eco, and then lost the rounds afterwards, lost 3 rounds in fact, and then you go to the attack side where defense side where RQ just completely washed Genji. If you look over here, where Jemkins gets 6 whole first kills, it's insane. I mean, I thought this was a little weird by Genji with how they played it, especially in the beginning, right? Because I felt like they could have maybe, if they were a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more less like overheated, they could have brought a bigger lead in this than the 7-5, maybe like a 9-3, an 8-4, then maybe
And it should have been a 9-3.
yeah, it should have been 9-3, right? And then maybe the mental would have been there more for Genji, a little less for RQ, and they could have won this map.
I think RRQ still would have won this map because they just have really good protocols, really good stuff on this map, especially on defense. Kind of like how people play with the Yoru, like they just know how to use the Yoru really well. I keep saying this a lot, but Jemkin's Yoru is one of the best in the world right now. And I think RRQ still would have won that map, even if Genji started off 9-3. At least could have won.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually something I wanted to bring up, which is that RQ's not counter strats, but their anti strats are really good. I mean, even if you just start off with Haven, they already have good ideas of what Genji was gonna do. Like even though they lost this map, you could see that they had a good prep coming into this, which is really impressive considering that they had just played against PRX like not like I think it was even a day ago, right?
Less than a day.
Yeah.
It was a day ago.
So it's insane by how well prepped they were, and coming into this series, they looked good. I mean, they look good on all their maps right now, I would say.
Do you think
Actually,
RQ coaching staff is the best coaching staff in the world right now?
That's
I
a-
wouldn't say so. No.
No, I
I
think
think
you.
I think the assistant coach Warburds, right? He's one of the best anti-strat coaches out there.
Yeah, I
So
think.
you could make an argument.
Yeah, there's
I think yeah,
plenty of
definitely open.
there's plenty of coaches that you could be arguing for So I wouldn't say that they're the best right now, right? You could be arguing Potter, right? You could be arguing RQs. You could be arguing Liquids. You could be arguing
I
Neil Zinio.
yeah. Neil Zinio and Weber, good
Yeah.
If you're
duo.
talking
No, but
Bangkok specifically,
actually though,
right?
I want to glaze Liquid's coaching stuff for a bit. No, I'm just kidding.
Wrong region.
Lohan the
Have a
Road,
good game.
okay? Fix my team from the worst team in the region to the best. Okay. Gonna be the best.
Third best.
I think
Well, no,
I'll
second.
argue for thinking RRQ staff might be the best because the team on the paper isn't that perfect. When you see the team, you are not like, oh yeah, they can easily beat teams that are from that have won a Masters, and I don't feel that the player have the calibers of the best player in the world, and yet they manage to qualify first seed and to make top 8 in the world because now they will skip group stage, so they are at least top 8 in the world.
I think I
And
disagree. I think RRQ player quality is really good. Xfer has always been one of the best players in Indonesia, right? Even going back to when he played on Boom Esports, pretty sure. Yeah, even when he played on Boom, he had a different name back then. He was their
Re-
best player
Real ones, no.
on. Yeah, he dropped like an ACS record against Optic. I forgot what his name was.
Well, he's the international event kill record holder. He dropped 38 against Optic.
But
I'm not saying the players are bad. I'm just saying that the ingredients RRQ have, the the list of players RRQ have, can go to big event, but I don't see them being a carry in a big event. I don't see them being better individually at an international event. And yet, as a team, with that coaching staff, they managed to be one of the favorites for the next Masters. And even if Potter is amazing, I don't think the player Potter have are also in the same situation. But the difference between RRQ and EG is that EG didn't manage to qualify. So
yeah,
maybe for once, yeah, I will just put RRQ first, and we will see if Liquid manage to qualify. And I don't want to glaze that much. Maybe Fnatic coaching staff can also be a contenders for being the best coaching staff. But yeah, RRQ might be the good outsider.
we're sleeping on the
And
XLG coaching staff. Okay, we're really talking about
what?
coaching staff. Look at XLG. Real
Yeah,
Gaming from
true.
China.
Yeah.
XLG.
real.
Yeah,
I feel like
I mean, yeah, you
RQ.
need,
I feel like
yeah.
RQ and oh my gosh, but I think RQ and XLG have a lot in common, right? First of all, they have a Russian ghost on their team,
Yeah.
right? They have okay, that's not even our XLG, but they have I feel like they're a team that don't have that much firepower in total, right? But
I don't know.
I
I would
disagree with
disagree.
that. I think
mean,
RQ is
yeah.
like people underrating RQ a lot. I think Monyan, again, I think he's one of the best Indonesian players. We saw what he did on in Masters Madrid. Kushi is one of the best rookies in APAC right now. Crazy guy, sure, you can say he lacks firepower, and Jemkin is the best duelist in APAC as it stands. And in terms of firepower, I think they're up there with the world's best.
mm, I don't know.
Xfer
Yeah,
has also
I
been
would-
an incredible player.
I tend to disagree. I think that
I think they're just
Really?
like one step below like the G2s, the heretics. I think they're like on the level of Fnatic, to be honest.
Okay, I'd say G2 is not that good in terms of firepower. Like they're still world class, but if you
Yep.
look at the world's best, I don't think G2 is up there. I think I'd put Team Heretics up there. Team Heretics have insane firepower. I'd say G2 and RQ
Whoa.
have like similar levels of firepower. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a fucking crazy take.
That's
I'm not
just
with you.
I don't think it is.
objectively false.
I don't think it is.
Well, yeah,
I
well,
think Jemkin is a better
okay,
duelist than
okay.
Jordan as it
Giorgamo,
stands.
Well,
Okay,
Yeah.
let us do a person to person comparison.
Sure.
Nats, if you would pull up the rosters of
Keep in mind, we're just talking about firepower here.
RQ.
yeah. So let me
Yes,
let me
surely
pull up-
about
let me
firepower.
pull up the rosters of every top seed then. So we have we're gonna go to our RQ, where this is the roster: Crazy Guy, Monia, Zephyro, and we were talking about Team Heretics, right?
Yes,
No, we're talking about
heretics.
G2.
We
No,
can talk about
Heretics and then
I,
G2.
I,
okay.
yeah,
Minibu versus Monia. Versus not Jemkin. I mean,
I would go
I think it's
Mini Boo
close.
in current form.
I think that
Current
they're
form, really, Jemkin is. They're
overall.
really close.
I just want to say
Over,
Minibu has been frying, but I think both are
yes, he's
pretty.
on form right now.
Okay,
Overall,
assuming that
I would rate
Will,
them.
They're around the same, yeah. It's no, both are
but
both
we
are.
can both agree that we can agree that both better than Jogamo.
No, I'd say they're all
Yes,
even, roughly.
I
Do you,
think like
bro, you're a Jogamo hater. What the fuck?
I'm not a Jogamo. I think he's one of the best rulers in what do you call Americas right now. But he's not the best in America. I'd say that's second right now as it stands. I'd put second with them. I'd say Zekin, Raga,
Mm,
Jemkin, and Minibu are like on the same tier, and I'd put Jogamo one tier below them.
no, but
No,
Jogo is.
Ospas like to run the clock down a lot,
Yeah,
Okay, I think
and
that's just a fanatic a fanatic vitality problem.
yeah. So
the Durga
as we've
effect.
been seeing in some of quite a bit of their past games, actually, they have been losing like 2 or 3 rounds across every single map because they ran out of time and just ended up not planning the bomb at all on their attack side. It's very much abusable. It will be abused, and I think on the global stage when it comes to good teams, yes, I did say good teams, they will get anti-stratted hard because of that. And then I do think that EMEA teams will be either bombing out of groups or making it fifth and sixth. That's my take.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect transition to the EMEA region.
Uh,
Yeah.
No,
And then
we're
as
doing
for
that,
China
that
first.
is the
We're
that
doing
is the perfect
Wolves.
transition.
China?
But we are gonna be talking about China first. All right.
We're
So
gonna compare the players first between G2 Team Heretics and RRQ.
um, I think
I
we've gone.
think that might
I
be
think we've
getting a
gone
little bit
deep.
derailed.
Yeah, I think we've gone deep enough into that. We are on quite a bit of time limit here today.
Yeah, makes sense. So we can
Yeah,
agree
All
so
right.
we're gonna
In
wait.
that case,
both of them.
So
in that
let's.
case, I will be
I
backing down, and then I will be giving my spot back, and I will go
Same.
to sleep now because I do not watch China because
Uh,
I watch
exactly what
Long
APAC.
this
ball,
person
Noah.
said. I'll be taking leave too.
Oh,
Goodbye, gang.
you're also going? Okay.
I mean, I'm not talking about China, right? Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
Wait,
the
who's
original plan was for Fel to talk about China, but Fel is going. So
No.
Oh, I'll be
Wait,
here
no,
for
no, no.
emotional support.
Hades is on for China.
no, Hades
Oh,
couldn't make it
Hades.
today.
Oh shit!
I'll be here
It's
for
just us
emotional
three then.
support. I'll put my thumbs up for whatever feels right.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Just be here.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk
Well,
about. Let's move on to China. Just gonna bump.
Right.
Before we start, can I just reset Discord for 1 second because I don't know why my processor is dying because of Discord.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Sorry. And also, I think my camera is down because I tried to solve the lag issues.
okay. While she's gone, actually, I'm just curious. There's this event called Hero Esports Asian Champions League, in which Sheila Gaming and PaperX are playing in 3 days.
Wouldn't be
What?
CLG's main roster, no?
Yeah, it should also be PaperX's main roster. Don't they have to go?
No, I'm.
Oh, Wolves' main roster is playing in China Evo.
Yeah.
Well, they did it
Y-
anyway.
Yeah, but like look, if you look at ZLG, they picked up. I forgot it was like XOG's manager and like something.
Hey, I remember Martin.
Yeah, it's Martin. Yeah, Martin was on Rare Atom and
Ye-
JDG. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Martin, and then I think one of them is XOG's manager. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So
Wait, who is it? Who is it?
well, let's go exploring, right? This oh my gosh, how do you want me to know?
Yeah, who's the manager? Wait, I'm Google.
I think it's
Wait,
Mentality. No, it's RT.
Oh, it's RT.
Um,
RT is their manager.
Oh yeah.
So the guy
Hang
on the
what,
right is their
what did he
manager.
drop? What are his stats?
Well, let's see RT. Oh no, RT.
Oh no, my God! What did they do to you?
uh, that's so funny though. Yeah, but they won a map. I think that's pretty impressive. I think
Wait, 10 and 16. That's
that's
not horrendous.
see 12 assists. That's a pretty good breach. That's a Simon right there. That's
Yeah,
a
That's crazy. I think EDG should pick up our teams for
yeah. They
next
should
game.
pick up
Yeah.
our team.
I think he can do it.
Yeah,
Wait,
They can
Swirl's
manage
back?
yeah. Soul's back in Nova, but they lost to Trace.
Thank fucking God.
I thought Swirl was a player who played in China, right?
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
got.
Swirl used to be on Nova, but then they benched him. But I hope this means he's back.
I hope so too. But it was an unfortunate game by them. But yeah,
God, Obi-Wan is gone.
let's move on to the actual game that we needed to talk about.
Yep.
Which is not this, not that either. It's this, which is about EDG. Wait,
Oh
are we talking
my
about?
goodness.
Are we talking about DRG or are we straight up?
No, last episode we did on China, it was the top 4 left.
Okay. So EDG versus BLG, where EDG lose, and it was a Gianni disaster class. We look onto Fracture.
Oh my
EDG went
goodness
13 to 8,
gracious.
very comfortable. On Icebox, it was a reverse flip from 18 to 13. And then on Pearl, 11 to 13, where EDG lose.
With a guy dropping 9 and 24.
An average ADR of 84 rounds. I mean, I'm taking average ADR. Levis over here was not doing too hot himself, but overall, it was a rough one. Only Ken going positive.
Oh.
I mean, let's go into
I'd like
it,
you
right?
to scroll down a little bit.
Scroll down. Ah,
Yep,
yes.
and yep.
This is BLG's first ever win in VCT history over EDG, including off-season, including Ascension selection, including anything. First time BLG has ever in their history done it. And what a time for EDG. I mean, do you think EDG are dead?
No, they're not dead.
No.
They
definitely
just need a new 5th.
A new fit.
What
Here's-
about
Yeah.
Simon?
Here's what about Simon?
That would be funny. And then they immediately win champs again. No, I think they should try and poach slowly because he's the GOAT.
No, bro. Dude, Ty Lue has probably put $1 million buyout on that guy, bro.
Yeah, but then Tyler gets $1 million to sign some actual good players.
But what I want to say, what my hot take is that Gianni is actually not that bad of a player, and here's why. Now, Gianni has this unfortunate story of being a very good duelist player. Okay, he was a very good duelist player back in China Academy, right? And then he comes over here and he has to play flex for the team, and he plays 3 roles. So I think overall people are making fun of Gianni, saying, "Oh, you know, Gianni's playing bad. Gianni's tier one time is done." But I don't think I think there's a reason why he was. First of all, he was chosen over Woody A as EDG, his other academy like top pick as, and which Woody A actually has played initiated in the past. And the big reason is that Gianni is a good player. He's not this player that's sort of just filled in because he had to. He filled in because he's a because he was first of all he's a very big team player. Wow. Wow, what a camera math. But anyways, but the only problem is they have made him flex into 3 roles, and this is a very reminiscent story of Serial actually, where we have a crack player on a single role brought into flex, and then they just completely fall flat on every role they play. And I think that, I mean, look, we know that Kang, incredible player, right? You gotta have him playing duelist for you, right? and he hasn't flexed, so I would so you were keeping him on duelist, so that's what I like. But I think either we need to transition Gianni to a full initiator team, a full initiator player, right? Right, really get in the reps with him, really get him used to that role, so he knows how to, so he can play the game again. Or you pick up any other initiator player, because you can't have him playing 3 roles and he's just constantly cycling through. Because if you're
I'm sorry
not,
for interrupting,
you know,
but why does he look exactly like Kang Kang?
he does look exactly like Hong Kong, but
I'm not. I swear, I'm not
Really?
racist. I swear.
no,
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 like
no.
there's
He definitely looks like Hong Kong, but unfortunately, he does not play like Hong Kong.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I
Stanley
agree.
also.
I always hate the concept of flex because when usually someone say, "Oh, he's flex for the team," sometimes it's not that true. Sometimes the player is just playing only Breach and Viper, and just playing 2 agents isn't really being flex, you know. And even if I understand why people say flex, I think it's a misleading concept because asking for a player to do everything at once and knowing every single rules, every single agent is a good recipe to an horrible outcome. So yeah, I rather have 5 people that are good at 1 or 2 role at 5 or 6 agents maximum, and just doing what they know the best. And maybe this is, you are right on the fact this is the reason why Jenny wasn't that good. So yeah, we will see in the future if he improve.
Yeah.
And so I really hope he does improve. But with this win of BLG, this means that the 3 teams that will represent China will be XLG, BLG, and Wolves Sport. Who could have predicted that?
Yeah.
Who?
I nearly did. Thought it was EDG, XLG, and Wolves.
I do want to say though, for I saw an interesting post, but actually it
The
is,
good answer was the coin.
yeah, there's a good chance that none of the Bangkok teams besides Americas are going to Toronto.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I think Liquid have
Liquid,
it
I mean,
over every other candidate.
Liquid do
Like-
have a chance, right? Because but they did just get beaten by Fnatic, right? So
It was like
yeah,
a couple rounds off.
yeah.
It's fine.
But I'm saying that because look, we have Vitality eliminated, we have the other 4 teams from Asia eliminated, and it's just Liquid left in this like little gauntlet over here. And I think BBL have a chance of upset, but so
Let's just not talk about TMEA
yeah,
yet.
it's very
And
interesting.
focus on
Yeah,
China.
it's very interesting to see the
Um,
theme here. But for China, we have 3 teams coming to Toronto. This is the first time BLG have ever made a Masters, and this is the first time XLG and Wolves are going to an international event. So pretty exciting for
It's the
for
first
China.
time EDG have missed an international event since Champions 2022.
Yes, they had the second longest streak behind Paper X, and this is also the first. This is also the first time where this is the longest. I was gonna say that no team in franchising now has made every single event, because EDG were the only
Yep.
one, and now they've not. So yeah, pretty interesting.
What a
bound
time
to
to be
happen one day.
alive.
It was bound to happen.
But yeah, in terms of the China reps at Toronto, how much damage are we thinking they can do?
Bro, I was seeing people in the Discord already like saying, already betting if China were gonna win a single game. So
Okay, well
the
that's
perception,
ridiculous.
that's not
I
true.
think
so the perception is not very high. But for me, I think XLG can get, realistically speaking, right? I want XLG to win it
Top 4.
all, but realistically speaking, I think XLG can win 1 series against 1 good team. Like maybe not your top teams, but I think they could be like they could be. I feel like they can run a competitive series against all the teams, right? And then they can
Yeah,
possibly win 1.
I think they can make top 4.
Top 4. That's 2 games
Yeah.
they need to win.
Yeah.
Possible,
They'll have
but
to beat a Fnatic or the Sentinels. I think they can.
I think they can. But
Yeah,
they would depend on the bracket.
I think the format is perfect for having a region that end with 0 wins, because your best team will not play against the weakest team. Your best team will only play against the best team. So yeah, this could happen to any region. Maybe China is the favorite to not winning a single game, but I really think you have to take in account the fact that the seed one of China will have to play against top 8 region in the world, and beating MIBR, beating Sentinels, beating G2,
They can
beating
beat MIBR
Fnatic,
and Sen.
beating. Of course they can. Anything can beat anyone. That if they are a
Okay, but
moral of this story of this split is that anyone can beat anyone. Even
Okay, but,
Mate
like,
can beat Team Liquid. So yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh yeah, there's a minuscule chance. I'm saying that like they will definitely make it close if they play, and I think it's highly likely they win. Not more likely, but like it's a very
Me-
very very significant chance.
We can't know because sometimes when you're in international,
I
you are in another country. You play in another timeline. You maybe didn't play against on a place where there are massive crowd. Things are different in international, and I think XLG players are kinda inexperimented, if I'm not mistaken. So
Well.
yeah, if
Allow me to.
it can be a crash. It's possible. I'm not saying that it's bound to happen. I'm saying that they are, I don't know, maybe 10, 15% or 10% that it could happen.
Allow me to make a narrative.
Yeah.
Cast your minds back to 2024. Actually, no. Cast your minds back to the end of 2023.
Okay.
G2 win Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the God win Ascension. Then they become G2.
Then they become G2, yeah.
Kickoff happens. They miss out on playoffs just barely. And then throughout stage 1, people watch them play and they think they're alright, but like they're not top of the region. Come playoffs, they lock the fuck in. They run all the way to Shanghai. Going into Shanghai, people are like, "Oh, I don't think these guys are gonna win a series. They're like bottom 3 team in the tournament." They run all the way to 3rd, and then they get tear gapped by Heretics. But you know, all right.
But
Now
G2
cast your minds back.
had the Guard team have an experience of international events.
They've been to 1 and they bombed out without winning a map. Well, no, they won a map visit.
No, but the thing is, the
So
God,
maybe-
the God have been playing for a long, long time, right? Compared to like XLG, which is a recently new team.
Let me spin this narrative.
Oh,
Stop ruining my
no,
narrative.
my bad. Continue, fourth.
Yeah, no. Now cast your minds back to the end of 2024. XLG win Ascension. Now they get a kickoff right. They look decent. They just miss out on Bangkok. Then come stage 1, we think, oh, these guys they look decent. They're probably not like top of the region though. Come playoffs, they go on the fucking insane run where they beat EDG, the greatest Chinese team of all time. They beat the Goats Wolves, and then they win the grand finals. They win it all. No one expects it. Now coming into Toronto, everyone's just like, oh, these guys probably aren't going to win a series. Oh, they're inexperienced internationally. Oh, you know, China doesn't have their greatest team. No, boss, XLG 3rd in Toronto.
XLG 3rd. Okay. And do you think it happens to the same thing? They lose to Heretics, and then Heretics go on to the final and then choke it?
No.
No.
I think Heretics win the final time.
Okay. I see.
In fact, they don't even eliminate them because they go through the upper bracket.
Wow. Okay. But yeah. I mean, interesting narrative there. But for me, I think XLG win 1 game. I think between Wolves and Billy, they'll win also 1 game, realistically speaking. from my point of view.
Wolves are winning. If
If-
okay, if
That's
the
if,
grand final
Yeah.
is all China, if the grand final is all China, what will we do?
If the grand final is all China,
Yeah.
has that happened ever since 2021, where it's just one region in the?
No. Since just one region grand final.
Last weekend, the
Uh,
Loud versus Optic.
I
mean,
wouldn't count
technically,
Loud
yeah.
Optic because
I would. No?
That was
at that time they were two different regions.
yeah, and also Brazil. That means like Brazil and America's got more slots, so I wouldn't count it.
I think this is the closest thing that you can have, because it. Oh, of course, Gambit versus Ascend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2021 Gambit
Yeah,
Ascent.
I think that's the last time it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
yeah, you're
technically
right.
CAIS and EU were different regions at that time. I'm just saying.
Oh no, because they have to play through the EMEA qualifiers.
Okay, yeah.
No, they had the same last chance qualifier. They were both regions.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
Technically the same.
Yeah, because the CI you play the CIS qualifier, then you play into the EMEA qualifier.
Yeah.
Depends.
But
Anyway, yeah.
anyways, for if China is the only grand finals team,
If we get an all China finals, XLG versus Wolves,
what do we do? That is a great question.
we will do literally anything anyone suggests in the comments.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, wait.
No, maybe not
That's legal.
anything.
Anything that's legal and within our budget.
Which is a fat
What's the
zero.
budget like?
A fat zero. Listen, I'm taking donations though. If you wanna donate me $20 to, I don't know, do something in my budget, I'll do it. But I need those $20. Okay, I'm a broke man.
Okay,
Okay,
I know
the-
what we can do. We will have to learn a little bit of Chinese.
Yeah, learn better Chinese. I don't know how to do that, guys.
Wait, hang on. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I was gonna suggest something Wolves related, but like Wolverhampton Wanderers. But no.
I'm not gonna bark
yeah, no,
like a
top-
wolf.
top-
Not a chance.
No, top donator in the comments of this stream after the VOD goes up gets to decide what we do if it's an all China Grand Finals.
You know what we can do? We can get the
What?
the server boosters. We can give them.
Oh,
We have server boosters. Yes, we can give them a
Yeah.
chance to pick what they want us to do. Yeah, so let's go with that. All right.
alright.
You guys.
Anyway, let's
Let's go back onto the
Yeah,
games. Billy versus Wolf Esports, where Billy crushed Wolf Esports in a 0-3 fashion, coming into the Pro 9-13, 11-13, and 7-13. I mean, this was an interesting series. Spring is an incredible player. The rest of the team maybe choked a bit, and YZ
yeah,
is incredible as well. This
I'm
guy,
putting this all down to choking against YZ's aura. Wolves are actually the better team. I just want to say that.
I remember Fade posting after the lose. At least we will not have to go to Saudi Arabia for the esport championships. It's the name. I think.
Holy based.
So yeah, maybe it was rigged from the start, and maybe they say, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
too
they-
bad we lose that game. Oh, we
They-
really wanted to go to Saudi Arabia. This is so bad. Oh."
They
So, yeah,
just
don't
didn't
know.
want to support esports World Cups. So not only are they the goats of China, they're also they have the moral high ground. So Wolves are actually just the best team in VC2. It was
Another,
a faded masterclass the whole time.
Another reason to support this EMEA team, because after all, Wolverhampton is in EMEA.
Wolverhampton's in fucking hell, bro. I don't think it counts. Anyway, yeah. Wolves are the better team, but they just didn't want the esports World Cup, so they took the game off. purpose.
All right.
Grand finals.
Let's talk about the grand
Yeah,
finals.
here I thought I was doing well. Oh damn.
XLG to BLG, where XLG beat BLG in a 3-1 fashion, and this was a cinema game. YZ, first of all, is looking like the best duelist in China right now, 24-11. I remember talking to a guy who was saying YZ needs to step it up. Kang's won a trophy. YZ is still like bottom of the duelist. What is he doing? I mean, just look at this, bro. He's like, frying people. I mean, this guy, oh my gosh, this guy is single-handedly why I think BLG made it into Toronto. But yeah,
him and Knight, they are the Billy duo.
yeah. But I also
Yeah.
give props to Russia. Russia played really well, but in the end, XOG won. And I don't think it was not much less because of, this guy fragged, that guy fragged. I think it was much more because XLG played much better as a unit. I felt like their fundamentals were incredibly good. And their macro has been good from the beginning of VCTCN, but I think it's really improved. I felt like the way they played against BLG, like some of the counter strats, especially on like Lotus, I thought was really nice. So yeah, I think XLG is a well-deserved win.
I think they're kind of like the new Trace of because Trace were like the quote unquote sensible team in China before XLG, but I think they've kind of taken up that position as the new like disciplined, fucking slow, like sensible Chinese team in terms of how they play, and I think I don't think they have weak firepower. I think Raga, Coconut, and Happy Way are a very solid core of fraggers, and then I think YOU is just kind of like he's like a consistent like rock for the team. He's never really going insane, but he's never really like violently shitting himself on stage. And then Viva's definitely the weak point. But I've seen Viva be good in the past. I think he was on Rare Atom.
Yes, he was.
So yeah, I think Viva can definitely have like moments. I don't think this team is that weak in terms of firepower. That's the narrative everyone's spinning. But I don't believe in narratives, unless I'm the one who made them.
Wow.
You don't believe in the coin narrative?
No, fuck the coin.
Ah, whoa! Blasphemy!
The coin doesn't think heretics are making Toronto. Well, they already have. Lol.
Yeah, the carry is higher of this moral consideration.
The coin is a fraud. The coin had EG and 100 Thieves making Toronto.
But that's because we anger at the coin. We lost the faith in the coin because we used it for our own prediction, and that rigged the coin because the coin was mad at us. So we just need to have the trust of the coin again.
Bum.
Wow.
Okay, so also another thing that impressed me about XLG is when you have a young team, a team that is inexperimented, and you go to overtime, I expect them to have way less chance to win because in overtime, experiment is usually the case. So, for example, when you have an overtime between Apex and Fnatic, I'm like, yeah, Fnatic is gonna win this one, and they will try, and Apex will just lose this one. And XLG won 2 overtime in a row, so they are prepared for this specific case. And it's happening a lot in a lot of games, so maybe it will be really useful for the Masters. And I really think it's a good sign. Because when you win in an overtime, it's a little bit fluky, but in the other hand, you also need to be good in overtime to win some close series.
Yeah.
Did that kill you?
Oh. Uh.
Yeah, I
But
think
yeah, I think.
that pretty much wraps up the talk with about XRG versus Bilibili.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
You wanna move
So
on
we
to
have. Yeah, we have an hour and 25 minutes before EMEA starts, so I think we could cover the.
do you wanna start right into EMEA?
Let's go EMEA. So we are sure it's good, and if we have time, we will do an end.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because I have a lot
Yeah.
to say about EMEA. There are a lot of drama we have to talk about.
Oh, the fucking Drex versus Vitality shit.
Oh, not
Oh,
only Derke versus Trex, but also Mixwell versus Dix, and also Angel
oh my
versus
goodness.
Jesus. Because I think Angel was a little bit Jesus on this one, so maybe he will steal Jesus' place.
What drama did Angel have?
I think
I
you
thought
guys
he
have
just
an
made
hour.
a
I-
Right?
comment.
He did.
I think
You will see. You
1
will
hour
see.
should be enough.
Anyway, yeah, should we do drama or games first?
Game first, because drama happen after games. So yeah,
Alright.
it will be in
BBL
context to the game.
Navi.
Ooh.
Right, BBL Navi, where BBL win 2-0 against Navi was a relatively close series,
Yeah.
but BBL take it over.
Yeah, well, Navi won every pistol. So I think if you take that into account, I think BBL were like pretty definitively the better team for this series.
Mm.
11 went crazy on the first map. I still I fucking hate Jet on Lotus. I just want to put that out there. Jet on Lotus, I do not understand why you'd run it over Raze or Neon.
It's just a Turkish things. I think Foot also did that in the past.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
they've
don't
done
just
it
start
once,
on
but
the top.
they've switched to the Waylay now.
Oh no, we're talking about like way back. Foot had a terrible comp on Lotus, and they somehow made it work like 3 games in a row. Just did
Yeah,
lose.
I hate Jet on Lotus. If this was just a Neon or a Raze, I would be on board. But fucking
They're forcing
like,
Jet in a lot of maps. Like even on Fracture, they played Jet.
is Levin just a Jet merchant? Like what? Go to the stats for the split. What's he played? Yeah, he's played Yori and Chamber. He's not played any Raze or Neon. Did he play any at kickoff?
I don't think so. He's
Played
played like
Raze.
40
Raze is his
raises.
second most played. Yeah, it's his second most played agent.
I don't think he played that, from what I'm remembering. I think he played one match of Raze actually against Liquid, I think.
Yeah,
Against
and
yes, he
that was
played
on Lotus.
one match of no, it was on Bind. Where he
And Brian
played
he
pretty poorly.
I look at 9 first deaths. I think he was just satcheling in blind and getting picked off. Let's go back to the game. Sure, Navi did lose, but they had a few good rounds. They still showed quite a bit of good stuff, and it wasn't perfect, but there were good like moments in there, and you could say they could be fighting for top 4. Like if Navi keep improving at the pace they have, they should be one of the teams contending for champs. They could make that. I think Yampi's calling was pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
he-
I
I
like
think
Yampi's
calls
calling.
crazy, but and sociable, like for sociable. I can't read that name.
So
That
I
man is
always thought it was
29.
sociably.
sociably, yeah.
Sociably. Okay,
Yeah.
sociably. That man is 29. Why is he dropping 28 kills?
29-year-old Wonder Kid. He's been in tier 2 for fucking ages. And just no one's picked him up, but I'm pretty sure he was IGLing for teams as well.
Magnum also, pretty sure had live, not a live game, but yeah, he played really well.
Yeah,
Especially on Fracture.
he was
The answers
on
that he had,
Fracture he was flying.
he was really good.
Do we think they stick with Magnum over Chi? Because Chiwa still hasn't played for this team in tier 1 yet. Like, does anyone know what's happening with Chiwa?
I'm pretty sure they had visa issues, right?
Yeah, surely they would have been resolved by this point.
But I
It's
think
been
Magnum
months.
worked for them. I think they had good results in scrims and just went for it. I think if they don't make to Toronto, which will most likely be the case, they have a long off season. They should try integrating him again. If it doesn't work out, Magnum is still a solid pick. They can maybe make champs.
Yeah.
But again,
Um. But yeah, I mean they've got Levin who can just go insane some maps. They got Sociably, who's a pretty reliable fragger. He's got alright util. He's quite flexible. He can play a few different agents. I think BBL are I'd
the real
say
person
fourth in
fun with it.
EMEA. I think they're literally just like right below the definitive top three. I think this
I
will be
think
the team going
I'd say as it
going to
stands, it's
champs.
a definitive top 5 because
Oh
they
yeah, there's no question about that. But I would say they're pretty clearly fourth.
really I'd put BBL and Team Liquid above them. So that kind of makes them 5th.
Well, yeah, Liquid, Fnatic, Heretics are the clear top three, and then I've got BBL fourth.
Okay, yeah, BBL. Of course, we're talking about BBL.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? I think you're talking about Navi. That's my bad.
Navi. I mean, they've got Xiao, who's very good, but then I feel like the rest of the team are incredibly inconsistent when it comes to fragging. Ruxic is a fucking psychopath. I just want to say, every single position he's in where he has to every scenario he's put in, he always picks the most genuinely unhinged decision he possibly can, and somehow it just works like half the time. And the other half the time he just fucking feeds his brains out. What the fuck is this guy smoking?
I smoking that Angel pack. Learn from the best.
Genuinely. Like, he's actually just a fucking... He's bizarre. He's tapped in the head. Koala Noob's a bit of an op merchant. Hero
Definitely
is...
yeah.
Hero, I
They
feel
rely
like,
a lot on
flips a
defense
coin every...
rounds.
Yeah, Hero, I feel like, fucking flips a coin every match, and if it lands on heads, he fucking just feasts. And if it lands on
Yeah,
tails,
he
he
had a
drops
few
3
good round
kills.
on Fracture too, to keep the game somewhat close.
Yeah. Was it a 1v3? Or...
I think about a 4K to win the round.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. And then Angel is Angel. His exploits are well known.
Yeah. I think Navi didn't even play that bad this series. I think it was much more of a BBL playing well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Uh,
Yeah, let's talk about the next game then.
Yeah, let's move on.
yeah, the next game, which was Fnatic
Fnatic
versus Foot.
Fnatic versus Foot. I'm getting ahead of myself, but yeah.
Yeah.
But esports look bad.
Um,
Why can't they just lock in for this one game? Okay, Zeus played well. He had a few good rounds on split, but I don't like the Melee, not one bit. It was
oh yeah,
clearly not good.
the Waylay's poo.
And he had no good plans. Like that's about it. They weren't able to. Okay, Fnatic has one clear weakness, and it's their slow pace. They like to run down a clock a lot. And I thought Foot, would play more passive. Play more back to punish it. But no, they always felt like the players felt like they had to make a play. Oh, let's turn and push B main. We'd probably catch them off guard. But Fnatic is all the way back. It didn't work out. It's just a tough map for Foot. They didn't play well one bit.
Yeah, Alpha was back, which was nice to see.
Yeah,
He's
Alpha
been in a
absolutely shit
he's
on
been
them.
in a yeah he's been in a very big slump in the group stage. But if you look at his playoff stats, he's fucking back.
Playoff push. My god, let's go.
By the way, semi-unrelated, but does Boaster have like a massive fucking grudge against Foot or something? Because I swear, every single match they play against each other, he fucking gives it to them. He stands up and he's like, "Oh fucking come on now!" Like, Does he have
Starts
something
emoting
against
mid-game.
them?
Maybe it's the play style, because Foot is a really aggressive team. I think when you are Buster, you'd like to think ahead of your opponent, doing a chess game against your opponent, and you doing a chess game against Foot is a little bit like doing a chess game against a bird, and the bird is gonna win, and you're gonna get mad anyway, and then you're gonna get mad. Your aim is gonna disappear. Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah, But anyway, yeah, Fnatic, they kind of just completely outmaneuvered them on Lotus, and then Split, they kind of pulled stuff out their arse on Split a little bit with just the individuals, and Crashies go clutch, Alpha go kill, Chronicles go fucking just shit on them.
That was the last time
Fnatic,
Chronicle played this good. Not Chronicle, I
again?
mean Crashies played this good. Last time Crashies, played this well in a tournament.
Probably Tokyo.
Yeah, I guess
I think it
that's
might,
definitely-
yeah. What was I gonna say though? I'm gonna be honest though. I'm not a Fnatic have won every single game on Split so far this stage, but I'm not a fan of how they do the attacks. They're so fucking slow.
I'm a really huge fan of teams that play slow on attack and go smart and still win.
Kinda
Yeah,
hate
but
how
I
they
feel like
play.
I
You
feel
see,
like they
I want to watch a Chronicle heat map of where he starts around, and it's just beaming 90% of the time. Like that. That's it. He's just there. And low-key annoys me. Just move a bit. He doesn't even move. He just stays there. And I get it. Like that's a part of your plan. But you know what? That's why I like watching players like Leaf. Like, they're aggressive. They like to catch that time. And I know Chronicle just stays there.
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, yeah, they're I also think fucking trolled the veto. Are these not just Fnatic's three best maps? Lotus, Split, and Haven.
Haven. Pretty much.
Like, what the fuck were
Yeah.
they doing here?
Mm.
I'm so
To be fair,
confused.
to be fair, I don't think there are a lot of teams that veto depending on their opponent. I think teams just have the ranking of their map, their best map, their second best map, their third best map, their fourth best map, etc., and so on. And they just pick and ban what is the best on their rank and on their list, not thinking about what the opponent does, because they don't really have the information and they can't be really sure that, yeah, this team is gonna be bad on this map, this team is not gonna be bad on this map. And I don't think that's a good way to think about the vetoes. I think in current day you have to think about this, and
Yeah, like, if Foot
if you
picked
don't
Descent or Pearl, like, I think it's so troll they didn't pick one of Ascent or Pearl.
you know my opinions about picking Ascent.
Yeah, but Fnatic are shit at Ascent.
Yeah, but if they start on defense,
They don't
you can
play
never
the
know
double
if they
Sensi
start.
as well. And
Yeah,
Foot's
but
attack side is
even
decent
without
on
double
Ascent as
sentinel,
well.
even without double sentinels, you will struggle in attack. It's always the same, even against normal composition. That's also why the double sentinel are not that good, because if you do double sentinel, you will struggle a lot even more in attack, but you will just win maybe one more round in defense because of double sentinels. So I'm not a huge fan of this, and I don't think Foot is that good on Ascent. Didn't they play against KC and struggle a lot?
Um,
The
no,
only
they
Ascent
kind of
have from
dominated
Ascent-
KC, but then they did a bit of a fake comeback, and they also had that insane overtime versus BBL.
Yeah, I think they
Like,
played
I
True,
think
fine.
true, true. But in Boost case, Foot was the team that picked the side.
Yeah, true. But their attack was also decent. Like I think it would have been worth picking Ascent in this scenario. Fnatic just
Nah,
don't play it. And I
can't
don't
agree.
think I would have trusted Fnatic to win a single attack round. Like if you mentally prepare yourself enough for like the half, and you're like, oh, okay, 3 rounds is good enough, 4 rounds is good enough on our attack, and I think 3 or 4 or even 5 were very, very, very possible foot against Fnatic's defense on Ascent, because I don't think Fnatic capitalized that well on holding the crossfires and everything on their Ascent defense. I think Foot could have easily won, even if
Nah,
Fnatic picked defense.
I really not agree. And also you have to keep in mind maybe they scream a lot and say, okay, we will not gonna do the mistake of picking the side, because in Steam sometimes you just don't pick the side and it's a little bit random. It's the first one that go in the side that just picks the side, and maybe just Foot said, okay, we'll try to do it in real condition, we'll start in attack, and they get roll stomped in scream. So I don't think I would blame Foot for the veto. I just think Fnatic map pool just counter Foot map pools, and sometimes it's happening, and this is what did happen there, and they won because of that.
I don't know, because didn't Giants pick Ascent against Fnatic as well, and they won the 13-10. Like I
think
really
you're
don't think
right.
I really don't think any team should be that scared of Fnatic's defense on Ascent, because I don't
Think
think
you
they have
should.
the I don't think Fnatic have it in them to just completely lock teams out and 10-2 half them.
I think you should be scared of every team in Ascent. Really, remember that start of the split. We have Team Heretics that pick Ascent, play against Apex, and lose against Apex on Ascent. So the best team in the league, which is
Yeah, because
arguably Heretics, just lose
they
against
didn't
the worst.
they didn't win a single defense round though. They
Okay,
started
but
on
I'd
attack and they
argue
won
that
5.
Yeah, and
I would
that's
argue
what's happening when you pick Ascent. Half of time.
for Apex's Ascent, I would argue Apex has always had a good Ascent, right? Even back in
What?
Ascension, the coaching staff just has a good idea of how to play the map. It was their best map
Yeah,
overall, and assuming it translated over, and Team Heretics was just finding their form, and I don't think it's surprising.
Yeah.
I think
but also I just want to point out, it was Heretics started attack and the half ended 7-5. Like their attack was decent. It's just they shit themselves on defense. Like I don't think it's like completely physically impossible to attack on Ascent. I think you can have decent attack halves if your opponent is weak on the map. And I think Fnatic are dog shit at Ascent.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
All right.
Definitely.
I
So,
think
yeah,
I
go
think
next.
I
go
think I
next.
think we have to move on from this game. We
Yeah.
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 Agree to
Anyway.
disagree.
Navi KC, this
Navi
game
KC.
fucking pissed me off.
This was a sad game to watch. KC showed a very nice icebox. Navi bring back sort of a comeback, but then the KC won it overall. In Split, Navi won a very close series, and then Ascent is a very close series. And then, oh
KC
my
fight
gosh,
comeback both times.
seeing
Look,
seeing Sadhak and Sugetsu's like reaction after the game, it was so sad, bro.
Mate, Sadak Sova is nothing. Like, bro, these darts I'm seeing, bro. Like he confirmed 4 people in A main, or I think it was B. He could like I think 5 times on their defense on Ascent. He confirmed like 4 people in main, and he just throws his fucking recon dart on the floor in front of them for them to shoot it instantly, rather than wait to delay the exec by like putting it above the choke. Like his Sova's just fucking. Oh, and his shocks were fucking horrendous as well. Like Sadak's Sova's just poo.
I think it's another game, another series where KC was 2 rounds ago to win the series, and they lose something like 4 series in a row, and a lot of the series they lose. If they won just 2 rounds more, they would have won the series, and so they lose, and that's sad. So KC is not that far
Yeah.
from the top team, I think, but they just need to stop choking, and it will be better.
Yeah. Do you guys think Elite played well enough to keep his spot? Because there
Yeah,
were
I
those
think
rumors that he was getting dropped.
I'd argue that Sadak didn't play well enough to keep his spot. I think Sadak has been one of the worst decisions Casey's made in a long time. Like I was really excited for him to play in this roster, but so far it hasn't. I haven't seen any results, which justify the
Yeah,
cost of Sadak going overseas.
because
In fact,
his
what we should do is,
mid-rounding has not been
guys, hear me out.
particularly great.
Robbie BK to Casey. He's my
Well,
goat. He
he's
can play initiator. He can IGL, and
he's
Sadak goes
already
back
going to
to Loud
Loud.
and fixes. Yeah, no, I know, but Sadak then goes to Loud and fixes them instead.
That
I
would be
think
quite funny.
I think the nerf of Tero is massively impacting Casey. It's a really good thing for Casey. I think that
Yeah.
that gives them a little bit of hope for Split 2 because Tero being out mean less emphasis on breach. So that means you can play more double smoker composition that Sadak love to play, and make their playstyle a little bit more meta. Maybe it will be a little bit easier for their champ pool. And yeah, I really think it's not over from KC. They were close from the top. The change is better for them, and even if they lose and they are out, it's not over. And I won't make any
Yeah,
change. Like,
I don't know. I feel like the management is going to go with roster moves, but I don't know what they're going to be.
why?
I think actually, I think they might try Elite Smokes and then put Suigetsu on Sentinel because Elite hasn't been able to play Vice very well at all.
On this
So I
BO,
think
is the second best player of KC now.
yeah, but his Vice has been fucking rough, and I think Vice is probably the best Sentinel in the meta at the moment. So I think they might try swapping the roles around a little bit to see if that helps.
Okay.
Mind you, I just want to say this roster construction is a little bit boomed, because you've got Elite Sugetsu and Alves, who I think were all Sentinel players on their last teams. I don't know about this roster construction,
Yeah. It's true. Next game?
No,
Yeah, let's go on to the
Yeah.
next game.
which was Foot Vitality. This made
Oh,
me so happy
let's keep
watching
this one for
fucking.
last. Let's keep this one for last.
For last,
Really? You
Saving the
wanna
best for last.
you wanna put off the Vitality hate party?
Yeah. So we can just group everything together and just make a good
Oh
transition
wait,
for
with the
future games.
drama, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have to talk about the drama with this game. We can just. No, but yeah, Heretics BBL. Oh my goodness gracious! Oh yes, Benji, so fucking back. 3 ends 1v3, cinema. Fucking, we won Ascent. We actually won a game on Ascent. Holy moly! We're
But
so fucking back.
Heretics won the game on Ascent, but they didn't pick Ascent. Again.
Yeah, but like it was only a 9-3. Well, I say only 9-3. Like it ended 13-10 after a 9-3 half, so they still managed to win 4 attack rounds.
yeah, but like, I mean, that just shows the defensive power, right? 9-3. It's. I mean, BBL are even running a pretty offensive triple initiated comp, and they could not get more than 3 rounds on attack. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
but I don't know. I'm so fucking happy. But actually though, once the map pool changes come in for Toronto, I think Heretics are gonna be. I think they're gonna be the favorites because Fracture, which is their Pertma, is going out, and Sunset's
Yep.
coming back in. Which they what was their win streak on Sunset? Was it 12 in a row?
They were pretty good on
Uh,
Sunset.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
really good at Sunset.
I'm pretty sure it was a 12 in a row win streak. So
Yeah.
Permaban out
It
or
was-
previous best map.
It was 12 in a row until they got beat by EDG in champs.
No, the Vitality were the were the team who broke the streak.
Yes, Vitality
In
EMEA. Right.
stage two.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I think their ascent, I think, was quite good. They ran a few like double op setups, which I was quite a fan of. I think Woot and Miniboo opping on opposite sides of the map is a crazy thing to get past on defense. And I think Woot was actually playing really aggressive with op as well. I remember him just like walking down cap. I think it was round, I want to say 9 or 10.
On Ascent, or which one was it?
Yeah, on Ascent.
This one.
Yeah, I think he just like sent it down cap with the op. And just fucking like pretty much 5v4'd it like 10 seconds into the round.
Oh yes. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just want to watch the Riens 1v3 as well.
Do you know what round it is?
Bring this shit up. It's round 19, I think.
Round 19. Okay.
While Nats is oh
That's for
my
not being-
camera is down. Okay.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Back. Do you think Heretics is the best team now? Or would you put G2 or XG?
Once
No, no, with the nerfs,
once
definitely
the Teo
Heretics better
nerfs
than G2.
and the map pool changes, yeah, Heretics are the best team in the world.
Yeah.
The Terror nerf is after the Master, right?
No,
after-
it's right before.
we don't have. Do we have confirmation on that?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure
You
it's
sure?
confirmed that the Teo nerfs are happening before Toronto.
Okay, it hasn't been officially confirmed by Riot, but players have alluded to the fact that it might happen.
okay, this is
Yeah.
weird. It's not written on Wikipedia. Okay, so I
Oh
think
my
we
goodness
don't know yet.
gracious!
I've
Yeah,
been
but I'm pretty
for this.
sure.
Lune should not have pushed lane. I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, Levin kind of threw, but like
11, okay.
just cinema.
Yeah.
This is my goat.
All right.
Anyway, yeah.
Let's move on then to Team Liquid versus Fnatic.
This was fucking
This was a
banger.
was
close
a
game. This was
banger.
a really high level game.
Really high level. game.
I know you're probably disappointed.
I was so disappointed, bro.
Goodness.
My
this
king
was a
Nats
banger.
drops 58 and 48, and they lose in the worst way possible. It was such a crucial 1v1 between Boaster and Nats, and they lost it. It was so unfortunate. I mean, this was a banger game throughout, right? You got 10-13 on Split, 13-11 on Icebox, and 12-14 on Fracture. And wow, it was a close game, but I just want to say one guy was having a rough time. Serial. I mean,
Yes, I don't think Serial's been particularly impressive at any point this split.
yeah. If you look at K-Fan, actually he had a really funny post, but
Didn't he miss the Astros suck again, like on split?
Yeah,
He
he missed
did.
another fucking Astra suck.
well, it wasn't him
That's
last
what
time though. It wasn't him last time. It was
I know
actually
it wasn't him last.
Yeah, no, it was Kamek last time, and,
Yeah.
they benched him presumably because his util was kind of
yeah. His util was
weird.
not that
But
good.
then Serial,
man,
Serial does
crazy.
the same
He will
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But again, Serial is on have to play Astra, Killjoy, Tejo. Again, is that people shouldn't be flex, and we should
mean-
have.
Astra, Killjoy, and Deadlock, which is the other agent he's been playing a lot. He's like
Tejo.
those are agents he was playing in challenges as well when he was the highest rated player in the Spanish league. So it's not like he's on agents that he just can't play. Like he has been put on, I think, relatively comfortable agents for him. I think he's just. I think it's just nerves.
Yeah.
His aim just looks off.
Yeah. It was really funny, but just imagine plus Kamek minus Serial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a really weird bringing from Liquid, honestly, because they had a pretty good team. They had a really good run at Bangkok, right? I mean, in no ways did they disappoint. They lost to EDG, who was the best team prior to playoffs, and they lost to G2, the grand finalists, right? So
Yeah.
I would look at that Bangkok run, and I would not be um I'd not be like disappointed. But they replaced the Kamek, they brought in Cyril, you know. But people telling me, okay, it's Cyril. Cyril's a great player. He's more consistent than the Kamek, and apparently he has good util usage because that's what they're saying in the interviews. And I have not seen that. He has not been more consistent than Cyril. I mean, he has, but like consistently negative. And he has been,
Yeah.
his utility has not been that great. But I can't really blame him because he's a Sentinel player. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But in this
Do you
meta,
think
right,
they should?
you
Do you think
expect
they should
Sentinels to
try?
pick up Astra and Viper, right?
But
I
even
think it's a given for most Sentinel players
no,
to pick up
but
at least Astra or Viper.
I mean, you have Nats to play the Viper, right? And even the Asher, right? Even if you excuse him for playing Asher, he's playing the initiator for them as well, and it's like,
I think that is a bit far. Like that is a tough thing to do, but he's yeah, I agree with
I mean, he's never.
DK.
I
He
mean,
got the
prior
comfortable
to
role.
this, I mean, if you look at his like all his agents, right? His Asher, he's
Yeah.
played
Why
5
is his
times.
second most? Well, actually, his initiators are actually his like more of his most played agents.
Yeah.
So
Not.
historically, he's been an initiator.
I don't think it's a role issue. I think he has been
Yeah,
put in comfortable roles.
I think it's just nerves.
Yeah.
Could be nerves.
I really think it can be used, and I really think we shouldn't underestimate the fact. If you play a different role at every game, you have to. You know, you are used to play safe because you are playing Astra. You don't have to die. You have to be the last one, and then you have to switch on Sentinel. So you have to lurk. You have to take some risk. You have to take some kills, and then you have to go to initiator, group with the team, being second or third on trees, and I just think it's you can't have a consistent aim when you have to change your role every time because you need to have automatism to win and to maximize your performances you need this automatism and yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say the same.
think
Like he has been put on roles he can lurk on. Astra is a great lurker. Killjoy is supposed to lurk in Killjoy. Theo, sure, not supposed to lurk, but you do. You're the last one in, right? You play to stay alive. You play for the post plant, especially on attack. I still don't think it's a role issue.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like
I
Three of them have a similar playstyle where you stay alive, play for the post plant, or play for the lurk or
yeah,
the time end.
I think with Liquid, I think it's probably best they replace Serial because that's probably best for both parties because he's clearly not the most comfortable with the positions he's put in and what he has to do for the team. And Liquid also probably need like another just like hard initiator player. Because Patatek's really the only one who has like really like solid like initiator utility.
Do you think
So
they drop Serial for tracks?
not Trex. Natank, yes.
The tank isn't. There's rumors the tank's going to Koi though.
Oh
Oh,
no,
that's a
not
rumor.
Koi.
Yes.
Not Koi. No, I thought it was Batty G that they're getting Koi, and then
No,
they're
they're
keeping
getting
one.
they're getting Badichi and Natank in rumors, and they're replacing Shados and Grabinho most likely.
Oh,
Shadows
shit.
had a good run.
They could get Shados.
I'll miss him.
No, they're getting rid of Shados, yeah, and Grabinho.
Yeah, but liquid Shados.
Oh, Liquid
Bringing in-
Shados!
yeah.
Liquid Shados! Oh my god,
Bringing
Hinata
in-
and Shados together! Absolute cinema! Oh my. Okay. So sad loss for Liquid. Great performance by Nats. Shaky by Zero. We'll see how they do. So
Yeah.
let's go to do we talk about the predictions or?
Yeah.
Vitality. We didn't talk about Vitality
Oh, yeah.
games. We
Okay.
form last, and then we're gonna do
Alright.
the little beef that followed Vitality and
Yeah.
then prediction.
Alright, so foot fucking shit on them. I mean, it wasn't even close.
Yeah. wasn't close. If you
I-
look at Fracture,
Yeah.
13-7, Split 13-6, same story.
Bro, look at this fucking attack side from Vitality, bro. Look at this shit. They win pistol and then 9-3. Like,
Yeah.
gee, they cannot attack to save their lives, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
waited for
they are
the
pretty
K3.
lucky. I'm not even sure Vitality would have been in playoff if they were in the opposite group.
You know, if they were in the if say Vitality and Koi swapped places, I don't think Vitality would make playoffs. I think
Yeah.
they might be gentle mates and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sad. And yes, this is really what I said last time.
I
It's
think
more they try to play smart and more time pass they try to solve that issues, more their aim is gonna be down, and I think it's pretty normal. There are some frustration that is building inside the player because you have the good individualities, but you can't play as a team, and when you try to play as a team, you start to play bad individually. So I don't see any way for Vitality to come back, and I think it will be worse and worse, and
Yeah.
I don't expect them to go in champions, which is pretty sad.
I think they're gonna make rosters. I think they might. I think they might bench less because he's in a bit of a slump, and I can't imagine he's very happy. You know, playing away from Americas for this for results like these. So I think they might end up benching less. They might move safe to Sentinel, and then they'll try and sign a different IGL. I think that's what I would do.
I think I will do the exact opposite. What you need in Vitality is players that is more team play, that understand more that the fact you need to play as a team if you want to improve. I think when I see this team, I see 5 solo queue players. So I will just check player by player which team is the less solo queue-esque player, and I think less is the less solo queue-esque player on the team. So this is the reason why I think I would keep less. I would kick. I don't know. I don't even know if I would kick anyone because I think it's doomed at this point. And you will have to kick some players that is more solo queue and replace them by players that is more able to play as a team to change the team mentalities. But doing one change, I don't think that will be enough to change the team mentality. So I don't know.
I just think that like there's no chance they have a good like rest of the season unless they get a new IGL. Because Safe's calls have been pretty tragic.
At the start of the
Ah,
year, right, Vitality was getting away with a lot of stuff they weren't supposed to. They're just getting space, even if it's like space given to them or Durka hitting a random shot, and their play still hasn't changed. They still have that default contact style where they play slow, they try to contact up, they avoid util, and they run down the time. They're
Yeah.
not achieving much with that, and teams have caught on, and they start punishing them. And this was a perfect example, right? They haven't changed, and they were punished for it. I think adaptability is one of the main things you need in this esport. And if you can't adapt with the meta, if you can't change your playstyle as the meta demands it, it's the best example. You just get punished for it. You can't stay stagnant.
Mm.
You can't call like you have no utility. Not everyone's KO. You just have to use it. And there are ways to disrespect util, but again, you can say the meta doesn't favor them. You can say they'll be good after the Teho nerfs, but even so, they need a
No.
fundamental change in their playstyle.
Yeah.
I think the
I-
player quality is incredible, but you just need a fundamental change in playstyle, and going forward. If I had to make a change, I say you get rid of Safe and you bring Sender back in. I think Sender was an alright IGL for them. Back in 2024, I think he did an alright job.
Yeah.
Maybe they're good.
Where is Sender nowadays anyway? I think he said he was taking a break, but I don't think he was retired. What was the last game Sender played?
Let me check.
It was the Lithuanian team.
Sender, right?
Technically, he played in VCL Northeast, but I think it was as a substitute. Oh, no, it was an
Yeah, I
open
think it was a.
qualifier.
Oh,
Oh.
right.
Did
No, but yeah, I think bringing Sender back is probably the shout. Also, I just want to say, I feel bad for Seafoff, man.
Yeah.
Fucking young rookie brought into a team that's kind of falling apart. Still looks like their best player with trophy winning players on his team. People touted as the best in the world. He has to fucking carry them. Like,
Yeah.
And also, he's the most nervous looking player I've ever seen. Like, if you just looked at his face cam throughout the game, he looks terrified.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty sad story.
Yeah.
And then that brings us to the Twitter, or you have still something to say about these games?
Not really. For me.
Yeah. They just got shat on.
Okay, so I just post them in the Google Doc, so you can check.
All right. Yeah. The Google Doc.
Oh, you should put in favorite and just access it in one click. It would be
You should
faster.
bookmark your slide.
Yeah. So Dirk versus
So
Trex?
Derke versus Trex at the top. At the top. So this is
So
the grenade that that just starts
Yeah.
the
I think
full drama in
Trex
Europe.
tweeted first.
It was what?
The MJ
so-
tweet. Trex tweeted first, yeah.
So yeah, Trex first make a post, because when you are best team in EMEA and then you get kicked, and right after you get kicked, this team can't even do a top 6. You have the right and probably an obligation to do a post about it, smoking a little bit the team and just joking a little. It's normal, it's banter, it's esport. And then Zerke, I think on the moment of the weakness, because he just lose and it was probably pretty hard for him, just answer to this tweet saying it was not what he should do. Basically, I don't know if you want me to read what he said.
I think everyone's probably seen it by this point.
Yeah.
I actually have not
So
seen it.
yeah,
But
Well, you
so
haven't
yeah,
seen
I-
this?
no, I have not seen this.
Oh.
This is I'm not
Let
on
me,
Twitter.
give you the timeline.
I've never seen it.
I'll give you the timeline. Vitality lose, and Trex tweets the tweet you see below, the Michael Jordan Bryant tweet.
Yeah.
You can put my shoes on, but you will never fill them. I thought it was pretty funny. Like, sure, you could argue that it's a poor taste, but I thought it was pretty funny. And then Durka, I think it's just pent up frustration from losing so many games, and I
Yeah.
guess the dislike he had for Trex while he was on the roster, I think it just let out. And Durka wrote a whole ass paragraph. When I was in conversation about joining this team, I had doubts about you as a person, based on how you acted in previous teams. Clearly, Trex didn't have, Trex had, I guess, not trolling.
I mean, he
Just-
does have a little bit of a history of being toxic before this, because
Yeah,
2023
toxic
Koi,
issue.
apparently he was just a fucking prick on that team as well.
He was the best player, right? And he was just
Yeah, he was the
being
best
toxic
player, but he
and,
was a bit of a knobhead.
Yeah.
Reportedly.
yeah, if you if you trash talk your teammate and you're the best player, maybe this is the reason why you're the best player. But because when you just create a toxic situation, you just make your other player playing worse. So yeah. So but
I would like to say I don't think Durka is particularly in the wrong here, because
Oh.
think of it from his perspective. Like you're in this team with Trex, and he's just a like if everything he describes here is true, he's just an arsehole, and you don't like playing with him, and he brings the vibe down. He just shuts down in like officials. He ruins Prax. So you get rid of him, and like your team like starts losing, and everyone is just clowning on you and saying like, what why did they bench Trex? You know, bring Trex back. Like he was the best player on this team, whatever. And then like you get eliminated, and he posts this, and basically everyone in the community is just saying like, oh, W tweet, bring Trex back, like they did you so dirty, whatever. So I think from him having everyone in support of the guy that you know was just like destroying the mental of your team. Like I feel like I would want everyone to know as well, so people would stop fucking clowning on you on Twitter for getting rid of him.
I strongly disagree. I think Derke is in the wrong, but I won't blame Derke because I think the post he did is really human and also kinda respectuous, and I really like the fact that Derke just say some qualities about Trex, because when you want to shoot at someone, you usually don't remind that these people have some qualities and you're just trying to put him down, and that's not what Derke did. So this is a good point from Derke, but I think Trex has fully the right to do a little bit of banter after that, and if this tweet all alone can't destroy the mental of the team, the mental of the team was already destroyed before. If Trex was benched and was not in the team, I don't think he was able to break their mental. And yeah, after being top forward, your mental is supposed to be good, even if you bench someone, and even if you, and especially if you pick someone that replaces him that is as good as him, because Saivov is really good and not worse than Trex. And yet, if someone have to complain, it will be Saivov, I think, because Saivov was not the reason of the lose. And I just think it's just Derke shouldn't have made this post. I understand it did because it's a human being. It's normal to do
I
that.
agree with Meg here. It's like a rule. Like, you don't air out your dirty laundry, but I still feel for Durka. Dealing with the frustration, losses, and what you had to deal with. If Trex was really that toxic, dealing with him. So I feel
Yeah.
for him.
But
Uh,
I understand where he's coming from because pretty much the whole
yeah.
community was on Trex's side, and the whole team's
And
just getting
if like
fucking made fun of the whole time.
if Durka knew that
Like I
Trex was toxic before that and was assured he wasn't, that means players in general know the temperament of most players before joining the roster. So I think it should be known at this point, like at least within the pro circle, that Trex is a toxic player and hard to work with. So it's
Yeah.
this
And
should be
also,
really about bringing him down.
I understand
Yeah.
Derke want to want to explain the decision of benching Trex, and I think these things is understandable, but I don't think the argument he bring was a good argument. I just think he should have say, yeah, it doesn't fit. He brings bad vibes to the teams. Maybe we would have lose anyway with him, and to me that would be the argument that he should have gives, and maybe protect a little bit more Saivov. And instead it was more, oh, you are toxic and you are still toxic now. And I think he argumented on the fact that Trex shouldn't have posted, and the argument he should have give is says why we would have banned Trex. It's because the tweet was more oriented into the fact that oh, you shouldn't post that, when Trex obviously have fully the right to post that after what this happened. It's pretty normal. Everyone would have do the same in the situation, and yet so yeah. I think I understand why Derke want to make a post about it, and it would have been nice. It would have been more an explanation. But also we have the answer of Trex to explain that explains that basically he was dropped. And then he was offered to come back, so maybe they intended to bench Saivov, which, if it's true, it's a really bad way to managing your team, I think. And if what Streck say is right, this is a huge loss, a huge L from Vitalities, and it's pretty sad for everyone in the scene, I think. And
But anything,
didn't have any answer after that. So maybe there are no answer to that, and that was true. And yeah, this is sad.
Yeah, I'm just curious if any team would, want to pick up Trex after this episode. Yeah, sure. Like Dirk Cup wasn't exactly in the right, but this at this point there are, you can have a tier two talent who can perform at a certain level as a tier one player. We just saw it with Cyber, and having a player of Trex's caliber, but dealing with the issues that he brings, I don't think it'll be worth it for most teams. At least in this
Yeah.
situation.
Especially since at the moment you've also got a tank on the market. So like, why would you ever pick Trex over a tank in this scenario?
I think Trex is a better player than a tank, but I see it.
I don't even. I think the tank is probably. I'd say they're as close to even as you can get. And the tank's evidently probably brings better
Well,
vibes
that
to the team.
makes sense. Tank was on a worse team, so he probably looked worse, 2024. So
Yeah.
You could say that. This
Well,
about
he
this
was still top 5 in rating, wasn't it?
was he?
I'm pretty sure for split one anyway.
Dude, the thing
Okay,
is,
so
I don't think it's no matter how toxic you are. I mean, not no matter how toxic you are, but with just this, I don't think it's enough to disqualify Trax because Trax is an insane talent, man. I think.
Yeah, he's obviously an insane player, but I feel like from like if you're on a team that's making top 4 and you still not able to like get along with everyone and be professional, I feel like that's a very bad sign. If you're on such a good team and you still can't like.
No, but I feel like
That's-
there's gonna be a desperate team out there that's gonna want to sign Trax. I mean,
Maybe Koi, but
yeah, I mean, if you're fighting for Ascension, you need more firepower. You're gonna pick up Trex because he's the best option out there for you.
I don't think
Apex Trex?
he'd go to tier 2 though.
No, I'm talking about like
Okay.
talking about Ascension teams. The Ascension teams, they need to make that playoffs. They need roster changes. They need to make
I
Apex
mean,
Trex?
I guess
Apex Trex. I see it.
yeah. Although I feel like signing a toxic player to a team that's already kind of like in the mud mentally.
But are we really sure is that toxic? Because if that's toxic, Vitality wouldn't
he-
have called him to
I don't,
come back,
I don't know because he had a history on Koi as well, and then like if he's still being toxic on an actual super team, like I believe it wholeheartedly.
Okay. We can't really know what is happening inside this team, so hard to say.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Trex versus Vitality, and then in the replies to the Durka tweet, fucking for some reason Mixwell just comes out with a with a steel chair, just fucking.
You have the link if you want.
Just looking for drama.
It's on the docs. That's
Oh, which ones? Mixwell versus
Yeah,
Leaks.
it's
yeah.
Yep.
Just take the first one, and you will have a bunch of comments in below.
Okay, so
No. Just
oh wait,
pick the first one.
that's
and
the
you will
conclusion.
have,
Hang on, the top one,
Yeah.
top one.
top one.
Just
Okay.
go to the top one and
Yeah.
just unlist. You
Yeah,
will
so
have
that-
a lot of comments.
I had
Yeah,
deja
so that-
vu
that-
reading this comment. Okay,
Yeah,
it's been
Yeah.
2
And then
years, brother.
Z-
Just move on already and be the bigger man. Feels like where I
Yeah.
congratulated the whole team for winning and admitted that I was the problem while apologizing to the same people 5 days and after a career ruining bench. Haven't spoken a single word when you bombed out of LCQ instantly with Benji out of respect. You still talk publicly about me like I'm some sort of demon that drives people to suicide. Jeez. Then you spread this agenda to your fans to constantly bully me in DMs and on my streams for the 2 years to this day. Only for a mutual bad experience that lasted 4 months. Fortunately for me, I grew out of this and seemed like you didn't. Wow.
Yeah, wait, and then in the replies, he says,
Yeah,
with all due
with
Who I
respect,
am
respect,
the replace.
fuck off.
fuck off.
And then
Jeez.
Zeke posts the WhatsApp messages that he sent.
Any quick summaries?
He basically apologizes to the team for not like being a personality fit and says that he thinks they're all very like nice, decent people. but he's like, he basically says like, oh, I like edgy jokes.
I'm
I'm
like
like
a 15-year-old edgy Discord kid, and you're a very balanced and experienced in life person. It's two different worlds.
yeah. And then after that, Mixwell says, I'm down to have a sincere talk between us and see if we can solve this out. There's a lot of things to this day I don't understand. And then he says, DMs are open. I'll answer everything my NDA allows. And then afterwards, I think Zeke, or no, I think Mixwell posts a. Oh wait, no, I think both of them, yeah. He says, "Fuck on my suit schedule," but yeah. So they basically went into a Discord call and had a nice talk.
Mm.
Yeah, and those
and
guys
they had
did
things
what
up.
every grown man should have done when you have a beef with someone. Speak clearly, speak your heart, and finally solve the issues. And it's a
Yeah.
good ending for EMEA. And the last
Yeah.
one is a little bit shorter. Is Anjuan versus Jesus. Because I think he might have the Nobel Prize for this and replace Jesus in the heart of people. So it was sent right after this little beef, and he was saying that when he gave an advice that everyone should have. So I'm gonna read it because I think if you are in a team of Valorant at any level, this advice is really important. A lot of teams having trouble dealing with certain personality in a team. Maybe this will help. Number one rule I enforce in my team is if you want to criticize your teammates, the only acceptable way for a player should be in a sense of what do you think about doing that next time? And you never talk about the fucking up sprays, shoot, or obvious misplay. This way you avoid the what the fuck are you doing kind of composition. This way you will actually help you know our way how to know better. This way you subject, not demand. People actually hear you instead of turning on defense mode. And this advice is an amazing advice, and I think this is probably why Angel is still a pro player and will stay a pro player in tier 1 for a long time, because when you understand that, it's amazing. And then you have the small answer that someone did. I think it's higher, and I think you saw it. Nat, can you go? Yeah. Is it wrong to call my teammate a baiter if he picks Reyna and never attack the group and is the last to die? And Angel, of course, answer. Short answer is yes, if it's actually your teammate. If it's your main man, you should add fucking before and mention that some of his relative was in a cinemas with you last night, and I love saying this is a good way to frame it. I was in a cinema with your mother was a really nice one. And so yeah, I think Angel got the Nobel Prize and just lost the Nobel Prize 2 tweets after and just won the banter one. So well
Right.
played, Andre. Thanks for this
Angel, my
advice.
fucking goat.
Angel the goat.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, time for predictions.
Yeah.
Alright, Heretics Fnatic.
Do we have any fancy
Heretics
graphics?
win.
Last
Do we
one.
have
Alright, pull
any
up page.
Fnatic believers?
You know what? I go Fnatic.
Oh really?
Just to not making guarantees for Heretics, because I really believe it's a 50-50 and it's not that
I don't think
100 in
it's a
favor of
50-50.
Heretics.
I think
I believe in the
Heretics.
rule of rematches. I think Fnatic got this. It's a rematch.
Have heretics?
still think
Wait, have
It's a
heretics?
rematch from groups though.
Have heretics
Yeah.
ever gone into a finals as the upper group?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did it
Oh,
EMEA Split 1, where they beat Fnatic in the upper bracket final, and then
But it wasn't a tie with KC though.
no, like EMEA Split 1, not kickoff.
Oh, EMEA split one. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Never mind.
they went through the upper bracket there.
Okay, then I predict they beat Fnatic again, and they go to the finals. That's
Yeah, Heretics beat Fnatic.
I mean, they just look
Even
like a
for
much better
Fnatic.
team. Fnatic, I feel like played a really close game with Liquid, and that was Liquid with some problems. So
Yeah, and I think Heretics just have the better map pool. They beat them on Lotus last time they played. They're so much better at Haven and Icebox. They
I'd
fucking.
say Haven was more of an anti-strat. Again,
I
like
don't think it's an
obviously
anti-strat. I think
No, I think Haven
I
was
think
the
Heretics are
perfect
just.
anti-strat.
Now Heretics have farmed Haven. I don't think they've lost it once. I think it's their best map of them.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Probably it is.
probably yeah because they beat Vitality on Haven. They fucking annihilated Giants on Haven. It's probably their best map because they play the Euro ISO probably better than anyone.
Crazy news. Koi Monster is leaked to join Koi.
Eh?
Monster
Look at this awesome
from,
journalism.
from the
Oh
Spanish.
hey, it's
thing.
this. Oh yeah, guy's just kind of an alright smokes player
Yeah.
in tier 2.
I don't. That means
Anyway.
pretty much Garbino's guaranteed to go then. But anyways, let's move,
Yeah.
let's go back to the topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Heretics just have the better map pool, and I
I
think
think it will
they
not
should
be
win.
I think it will be not a matter of map pool. I just think it will be who is the most confident on the day. And yeah, I think if Fnatic manage to win the first map, they can be in good tracks. And we have to remember that it's true that Heretics kinda choke in the important moment, and I won't be surprised
Actually,
if they end Seed 2
you know
instead
what?
of Seed 1.
You know
This,
what?
like you're right.
I'm gonna
This match is not important enough yet. Team Heretics will win this. They'll choke the grand finals. This
Exactly.
match is
Okay,
not
good point.
important enough.
No, you know what? You know what? Fuck you all. I'm just saying, against Genji and against EDG, those weren't chokes. Those were just Genji and EDG like hitting their fucking peak. I don't
They
think
never won a
Heretics
point.
are
What
as
about
big chokers as everyone says.
what
Listen, they
about
have
the
never
Okay,
won a
good.
grand
okay?
final.
What about the
They've
two?
lost 6 grand finals last year. 6.
What about the
It's
two
6,
times
right?
they
5
lost to
actually.
Fnatic, and the one
Right,
time they
yeah.
lost against KC? All the regional grand finals. Sure, I can give you Genji and
Uh,
EDG because they were the better team, but you cannot convince
Okay.
me Team Heretics was the worse team than Fnatic, and Team Heretics was the worse team than K-Corp.
Okay,
won.
yes, they were
were-
better than those two. I think the regionals were chokes, but
And this is
also
a regional. So they won't choke it yet.
yeah,
They'll choke the grand
this isn't
final.
the regional final. No,
Yeah,
they're winning this
absolutely.
final.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're winning this.
I'm,
They're winning
I'm
this
saying they're
first.
winning the
The-
upper final.
The choke
Yeah.
is gone.
Mm.
They'll choke
I
the grand
think
finals.
They
I
signed a new
credit
mental
Team
coach.
Heretics.
They signed a new mental coach. Frost. They're winning the final this time. Anyway, Heretics beat Fnatic. That's the point.
Okay, now
I
Okay.
agree with that.
Navi versus Team
Liquid
Liquid.
BB or Liquid Navi even, yeah.
Any Navi
Liquid
believers?
Liquid.
I'm
Yeah.
not a Navi believer.
We have a
Oh,
Navi believer.
I think again it's a 50. It will depend if Navi players are in a good day or not. Because if they are, it will be a really rough BO for Team Liquid.
Listen, I think
And
Partytech is going to give Serial a talk. He's going to hype him up. He's going to be like, play your game and stuff like that. And Serial is going to have an insane game.
it's what is
Partytech is a strong.
well, it's the Bren 5 minutes in the locked room.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
1 hour, no police interference.
well, listen.
yeah.
Partytech is
No,
what
but
Zensus
I'm
wishes to be. He's the strongest hype man there is.
real as fuck.
Therefore, Partytech wins. As
No,
for
but
Team
I
Liquid wins, he
think
brings Serial back up to a good level. They got
Yeah.
this.
I think if Serial can find his form, I think Liquid are very comfortably favored here because Nats, Kiko, and Camo, I think, are a very strong core of fraggers. I think Nats' IGLing has been very good in terms of maximizing the individuals and putting people in good spots. I think just Patatek's just like the rock for the team, keeps the vibes high. I think the vibes on this team are amazing. The coaches are fucking great. I think they'll be able to. I think they'll be able to anti what Navi's been doing on certain maps and exploit the weaknesses in some of their because Navi runs some fucking
Wait, Meg.
goofy.
Then do you
bullshit
think
comps.
that Fnatic? Do you think Navi is as good as Fnatic and Heretics? Because you said that it's 50-50
No.
versus Liquid.
no, definitely not. I think Navi. Yeah, I think it's really hard to predict this game, but I don't think Navi is as way better than Fnatic and Heretics. I think Liquid against Fnatic was maybe a little bit better than what they are really, and Fnatic a little bit less better than what they are really.
I
And
disagree. I think this is Team Liquid's
I can
worst.
understand.
I think this is Team Liquid's worst showing. I mean, you have Cyril playing the worst he's ever had. I think Patitex played a poor series. Kiko did not play his usual. Like, he's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Kiko is bad here, but Kiko we know has been incredible, right? No, like legit #1 in EMEA. And
I think
Camo,
that's an unrealistic form for him to
yeah,
maintain
I know. I'm
throughout.
not
I
saying.
think
I'm not saying. I'm not saying he should keep the performance like consistently. But I'm saying that I don't think this is Liquid playing better than they ever have. I think this is Liquid's worst form. I think the only player you can argue that is
Okay.
like playing in good form here in this game was Nats, right? Camo was playing okay, and the rest of them were either at the normal level or worse.
is that Nats at
Okay.
17 first kills? I didn't realize.
Yeah, Nats is 17 first kills.
Wait, what the fuck? I've just clocked.
Yes, Nats
That's
is
insane.
Nats single-handedly
17
carried
and
them with this
3.
game. Yes.
They should put Nats on duelists.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
hope that
anyway,
they never come.
I really think it's if Navi is not in a good day, they will just crush. But I don't know why. I just feel that Navi just won a close series. That might boost a little bit their confidence. And to me, this is really a trap game for Liquid. Even if I believe that Liquid is slightly better, I think it's really a trap game.
I think Liquid are kind of clear here. I think they'll be. I think it'll be a relatively clean
Navi as
tour.
it stands has too many weaknesses. You know, I think Ruxic,
Yeah.
not Ruxic. I mean, Koala no
Yeah.
being, you know, an op like
the-
requiring an op to perform on defense rounds. That
Yeah.
and
The whole team's just too inconsistent in terms of fragging.
I think.
Yeah.
That was their only.
I think.
And I think their comps are kind of. Sorry, I was just saying. I think Navi's comps are really, like, quite weak. And I think the coaching staff on Liquid is good enough to exploit that.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is I think that I would place Team Heretics, Fnatic, and Team Liquid all on the same tier. Maybe Team Heretics a little better, but for me, these three teams are very close and that they can all beat each
Yeah.
other individually. So
Oh yeah.
I think it's a
I
little.
agree.
I think if you're saying Navi can beat Liquid, I think you have to then also believe that if Team Heretics or Fnatic were in a situation that you would believe Navi could also beat them. And for me, I don't see that universe. But obviously, you know.
To be more precise, I just put Liquid a little bit under Heretics and Fnatic, and you know when the margin is not that high, it's that's true that they can beat them at any point and at any moment. But you know it's like a chain. You know, you have Heretics, Fnatic at the top, then Liquid, then Navi, and there are a small gap between Navi and Liquid, a small
Ooh.
gap between Fnatic
Ooh.
and Liquid.
between
But if you
Liquid
take
and
the gap
Navi,
between
there's quite a
Fnatic
big gap.
and Navi, this is starting to be a little bit more gap that is huge enough for me to be sure
would-
that Fnatic gonna win.
I think
I would put
Navi are the
BBL and
worst.
put between Navi and yeah.
Yeah,
I think Navi are
I
the
put
worst.
BBL
So
before them.
I put BBL before them. I put maybe even foot over them, like maybe a little
yeah.
bit.
I think Navi.
I put BBL last.
You put BBL last. I put them
Yeah,
fourth.
just because they pick Ascent, and I think they
Oh, well,
was
I think
not
that's just
enough
getting
initiated
close
on
to, right?
Ascent, and this will cost them a lot. They will not go. I really think this is a team that have the more chance to not go to international event, to the next international event,
Whoa.
because I think at some point they will have two important series, and on one of these two series they will pick Ascent, and among one of these two series they will get easily punished. Especially if it's Team Liquid, because we know what did happen when BBL pick Ascent against Liquid.
I don't know about because BBL. It's not even like it's their first pick all the time. It's fucking. They picked it against Heretics because Heretics banned Fracture, and then their weakest map left was Ascent. And then the foot Ascent game was just fucking bizarre. But I swear they haven't even been playing Ascent that much. Like it's not like they rely on it at all. And I think BBL. I just like this team. I just think they're gonna.
No, but
I
like
think that
I don't.
I agree with you.
I think BBL have the highest chance out of Navi and Foot to go to
Yeah.
Yeah, I
let's go
agree
to
with you. I think
Toronto.
they're the closest
they-
to the
they-
top 4.
I mean, look,
Jets.
they went flawless in the EMA split. Besides losing to Liquid in a close series, they beat Navi and they lose a close series to Team Heretics. I don't think this team is bad in any means. They destroyed Foot.
Yeah.
I mean, not destroyed Foot, but like they played a close series Foot, but
I
they
didn't
beat
say
them.
they was bad.
No,
I
but
didn't say they were bad.
I know,
I'm
you
just
said
saying
they
they
were the
will be
worst team out of
punished at
these.
some point.
no, but I'm saying I think they're the best one. I'm out of Navi and Foot. Not Liquid. I think
Yeah.
Liquid obviously better than them, but
if Liquid missed Toronto, it's because BBL beat them.
that's my prediction.
It's
anyways.
good. Yeah.
Same.
But
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so
you really think all of you think that BBL is gonna beat Foot?
yes,
Because I
Yeah.
really think it's a 60-40 for Foot.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Just because
I
just
think
because I think what they did on Ascent, it was a really close series, a really close game on Ascent, last game BBL versus Foot. And I think when you pick Ascent, yeah, half of time you will have a close series and you will manage to win your own map. But half of time you're just gonna get destroyed. And so they are 50% this is a close game on Ascent on their own map pick, and 50% that go destroyed, which give 25% for BBL to win. I think the team, the player, and their game plan is strongly better, but just because of the pick of Ascent, it's to me it's a 60-40 for Foot Esport.
they haven't been playing Ascent that much. They played it versus Foot, but they've only played it one other time this split, I think.
they're playing
And it was against
anyway,
Heretics.
And
I
against Liquid
don't
last
see any
map.
reason why
against
Ascent.
Liquid, yeah.
But that was like
So you don't think they? You don't think?
I don't think they're necessarily going to pick Ascent. No.
Okay, so
'Cause they-
even if
they-
they
they've only
beat
played it
Foot
3
Esport on
times.
Ascent, you think they're not gonna pick it?
Well, they beat them 25-23.
Well,
Like I don't think they're necessarily gonna think, oh yeah, we're definitely like favored to win Ascent. I think they're gonna pick something else. I think they're gonna pick Lotus, because that's what they picked versus Na'Vi.
They
And-
ban Lotus against Foot.
Yeah, but then they've just picked it versus Na'Vi, and they pretty comfortably won it. And Foot just fucking trolled Lotus against Fnatic. They lost at 13-6. I think they're gonna pick Lotus.
Oh, that's
I-
there's no way that
Not even-
happens. Do you think BBL coaches are there analyzing map picks, bro? None of these coaches are analyzing map picks. They're all sitting there like, oh, I'm good at this map, let me play it. I'm bad at this map, let
Yeah.
me not play it.
Well, they picked Ascent versus Heretics because it was their weakest map that they don't like. It's the only map they didn't play alongside Fracture. That's the only reason they picked it versus Heretics.
Okay, I can give you that.
Okay. We will see the map veto. If the map veto is not Ascent for BBL, I think BBL is favorite. But if they pick Ascent, I think it's Foot that is
Okay, not,
favorite.
let's just take a vote.
No,
Who's up for team?
I'm
Who's
pretty
up for BBL?
I'm pretty sure BBL is
I'm
3
voting
people.
BBL.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go BBL then.
Okay, so
Yeah.
BBL versus Liquid then would be our thing.
I mean, we don't have to predict
This
that, right?
time-
Like it's a might not happen to begin with. We're predicting a game which doesn't even exist yet.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be really funny if it's Navi versus Foot.
If it's Navi Foot to fucking go to Toronto, I'm gonna lose it. If, bro.
What did the coin say?
That's my mentality.
What did the coins
The
say?
coin, I think, said Fnatic, BBL, and Navi. I think that's what the coin said.
The coin did
Okay.
say that, yes.
Yeah, it can't
Who-
happen.
Yeah, the coin said
Yeah, the coin was at.
Fnatic would win the
Yeah.
grand
Yeah.
final, BBL would win would go to the grand final, and Foot would lose in lowers. No, Navi would lose in lowers.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the coin is a heretics hater. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
L coin.
it's gonna be really hard. I think it's if it's BBL versus Liquid, I don't see any way from BBL to win this this series. This is
No
really
way.
the only matchup among these four that I see them.
I think it's possible, but that's hard for them.
Yeah. Because I think
Like I'd give it a
I don't think
65.
I don't think
45,
BBL
35.
necessarily have like a definitive best map, but at the same time, do they have like a perma?
They
I don't know if BBL have a perma ban. I think they play all 7 maps.
ban
Right.
Lotus, then they ban Split. It's looking like they play all 7 maps, and they ban Lotus here. Then they
Yeah, I
ban
think-
Icebox. Yeah, no, they play all 7 maps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Liquid.
So do you think they will ban Ascent against Liquid?
No, I don't think they'll
Not
ban.
necessarily.
They'll ban
I think they're going to
Lotus.
float it.
They will ban Lotus, 100%.
Yeah, they'll ban Lotus.
Remember,
But
they got
then,
13-0 against Team Liquid on Ascent.
Yeah. I think they'll pick Haven again.
yeah, they're probably going to pick Haven.
All right.
Or Ice. Actually, no, they're probably not going to pick Icebox.
Team Liquid just beat Fnatic on Icebox. I would not pick it.
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay. Which means we
I
go.
think that about does it for.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's.
oh wait,
Yeah.
unless you want to
No,
talk
no, no,
about
it's fine.
the
It's fine.
hypothetical.
Fine,
No, it's fine. Too many hypotheticals.
We have
Alright.
10 minutes to end that, so it's okay.
Yeah.
When we really think about it, it's just 20 minutes.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah, we can
But
speed
probably
run
no
now,
time for
but-
Americas.
We definitely don't have
I
time
think
for
we can speed
Americas.
run that.
Yeah, no time for them. Just
So
Not fair.
okay, so let's just end it here. I want to thank everyone for being on this long podcast. It was almost 2 hours and 30 minutes. Thank you for sticking it through. Thank you to the host today. To everyone here, Meg, Math Material, Diakid, and also Fel, who left earlier. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please join the Discord if you haven't, and bye. Thank you.